Hello, it's that
So
time
may
of
oh,
the
are we
week.
not? No. No? Are we
Oh,
gonna sing?
I did tell
We
you to
gonna
do it.
sing? We did, you
I
did.
failed.
So may we no? Okay, well,
No.
move on.
And no
I was
one's
told
getting
there
it.
would be singing. I
It's
know.
a net. Sorry, everybody. No one else watched that movie, probably. You should,
Before the
though.
show,
It's
I
really
was told
good.
we were going to sing, and we aren't. It's very disappointing. Mara lied to me.
It's probably not the first, also likely not the last.
Interesting. Okay.
I've just
We
set the
need to
tone
talk.
for the future in a very negative way with Trevor. So, welcome everybody. I'd especially like to welcome any spirits that might have followed me home from the spirit infested dwelling that Dan and I stayed in last night. So, Dan's biggest fear realized. Do you think one of them followed us?
Nah, I think that was a very cozy place. I doubt anyone followed us.
Well, we'll see. But yes, so welcome to all of the humans, of course. All the animals. Sir Pounce is sitting there just looking at me with his little baby cat eyes, like, excuse me, why are you not paying attention to me? All of the aliens, because there's definitely people watching that are in space. Ooh, maybe they're actual just like astronaut people. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but we were talking about a net, and then I fooled Trevor into thinking we were all going to sing, and then turns out I lied. But at least one other person saw a net.
Ender saw a net.
Woo! Yay!
So shocking that Marion Cotillard got a Cotillard. I won't even try to pronounce that correctly, because I don't know how. It's still shocking that she somehow got a Golden Globe nomination. I don't know how that happened. How did the Golden Globes do that? They gained my
money?
respect. Fair. And then they snubbed it on, which then made them lose all my respect once again.
Well, I'm just going to say it right now, between the Golden Globes potentially continuing to break Trevor tomorrow and the fact that we both had to watch the 355, things might get a little spicy. So get out your ranch dressing, people, because this is going to burn.
Or if you like the burn, just like get some salsa, and then there will be lots of burn.
Hi, baby boy.
Are you a good boy?
Yes. Very good boy. Very good boy.
He's like so limp right now. He's just such a baby. Okay. Anyways, so should we just like get into the 355?
Yeah,
because we actually did not talk about it before the show. Normally we kind of talk about like what we're going to say, and we were like, let's just not, and let's just go into it. Do you want to begin? So may you start?
Okay.
Whoa.
This movie. It pains me that, so I made my 2022 rankings. Okay. It pains me that this movie has to be at number 1 because it's the only 2022 movie I've seen so far. I actually debated just waiting until I saw Scream, so that way this wouldn't have to be number 1. Because even if Scream crashes and burns, it would at least be better than this. Because
probably it'll have Ghostface.
Yeah, just a picture of Ghostface would be better than this movie. Yeah.
I mean, the sad thing is for me, like, it had little flashes of things that could have really gone somewhere. Like, I just want to say it with like no reservations. Penelope Cruz was just like fully committing 100%, and she was fabulous in this movie.
She is a phenomenal actress, as is Jessica Chastain. Like there are this entire ensemble cast is like really great. It's like it's an amazing cast. What can I say? It just made me appreciate Jessica Chastain's performance in The Eyes of Tammy Faye even more. But like, what's going on in this movie? Like, it's so telegraphed. Like,
I was like, okay, people, I hope you've seen at least a movie before, because something that doesn't happen, like, it doesn't happen unless they show it to you. And I was like, come on, people, please don't be surprised by A, the casting, and B, the fact that they don't show you something because you know what's going to happen. And then they did it twice. They did that same fake out twice.
Like,
Urgh.
I don't understand. Like, Simon Kinberg just needs to stop making movies because all he's doing is harming humanity. I don't like. You crashed and burned with Dark Phoenix. You were given a second chance and you did even worse. Like,
Well, also, like, this is just me. I've said it before. I will never stop saying it because movies will never stop doing it. Like, at first, I was really worried. I was like, okay, so we're going into the girl power kick ass movie,
mhm.
and it's going to be really vocal about the topic of feminism, and I hope it's done really well. Well, the movie 90%, 98% of the way through is just showing me that they are strong, they are capable, they're badass, that they're just straight up slaying, like regardless of the structure and the pacing and all that other stuff. But then
Yeah.
the last 2% of the movie, just out of nowhere, without any evidence of this, like Jessica Chastain's character talks about how, oh, well, I've actually been like carrying this male colleague of mine throughout his career, and he just took credit for it. And it's like nothing was ever demonstrated about this or shown. In fact, it seemed like they had a very good working relationship. And it's like,
Mhm.
and that's why, like, we're gonna be these nameless women that helped save the world, and no one's ever gonna know it was us because of men. And I was just like, I
Right.
want to die. This is not helpful.
Also, okay, why is the movie called The 355 when I I guess minor spoilers if you care about this movie in the slightest, it is a throwaway line at the end of the movie.
Yep.
A
Yeah.
throwaway line about 10 seconds before the credits roll where they're like, and it's the line from the trailer. Do you remember that story we told us about in train they told us about in training? It was the 355. But like, why? Why? I
Yeah.
I I because movie title? I don't know. Is this like yeah. um and like
Well, also
the
just from
entire
like
thing.
an action standpoint, like some of it was really, really good. But like it really frustrated me that one of the first action sequences is just a chase scene. Like part of it's a foot
Yeah.
chase, part of it's a motorcycle chase. And it is like shaky cam to the extreme, and like that
Oh my
frame
god,
rate
yeah.
thing where it's like everything's happening
Mhm.
faster than it looks like. It's
Yep.
just Diane Kruger running. She can
Yeah.
run. Just film her running. You don't need to dramatize
Yes.
it with like shaky cam. It's super fast. Oh my
And like
God. Like,
I hate shaky cam action. I cannot handle like you can do it a little bit, but if your entire
mhm.
movie is just shaky cam, it's like it's all over the place because it's like you're there and then you're like you're bouncing all around. But like I think it works so much better if you like pull back. Like some of my favorite action sequences, it's like a still camera. It does not move and there's some really great lighting and like we watch people like just generally very talented stunt doubles fight and it can be very very beautiful. You don't need to be in their faces like because then that even just like takes away like if you just hold back it makes it seem much more real and like everything feels like it hits so much harder. With this we can't even feel like the impact of the punches because the camera's flying 30 feet to the right. Like it does not work. um I,
I
he-
mean, additionally, like there are things you can do, like be inventive. Like Lee Wanell with Upgrade. Like that camera movement
yes,
in those action
yes.
scenes was some of like the most revolutionary action stuff that I've seen uh
Mhm.
of late. And it was inventive, it was new, it felt fresh, and I felt like it was very immersive without being distracting. Like you acknowledged how like, oh my God, I've never done this before in this movie. Like this is fantastic.
Yeah.
But like shaky cam is like lowest common denominator action for me. It's kind of
Yes.
like in a horror movie, like the loud sound effect noise jump scare moment where it's like, okay,
Mhm.
nothing happened. It was just a door slamming in the background, but the sound effect is like jacked up to a 15, so that way it makes you physically move
Yeah.
in your seat because like your body can't help but do it. I hate that
I
stuff.
must I must say there were multiple times in this film where they did like a noise jump scare thing, but they
Mhm.
telegraphed it so hard because all the characters would get quiet and then the score would stop and then they would look around for 2 seconds and then boom something pops through the somebody jumps through the window. And it's like you could not have told us that was going to happen anywhere. And like I don't know, this movie, just like every single aspect of it is so paint by numbers. You could take half of the shots of this movie and place it into any other action movie and nobody would notice. Like
Yeah.
I mean, the editing, it kills this movie. Any kind of momentum that that this movie had, it would like, we'd have a 5-minute sequence where something would happen. Just knocked over my microphone because I'm being very animated with my hands. Any single time that something would happen, it would be like, like it would like come to a dead stop. Like we would stop, and then they would have like a conversation, and then we'd hang around for a little bit. Okay, then another thing will happen. But like that can be done, but like you don't have to kill the movie every 5 minutes. Like there's ways to balance, having going from action to like, a character moment to action to a character moment. That's a movie should be. It shouldn't just be all like straight action, like for an action movie, that is. Action movies shouldn't just be action the entire time. We should have character moments. But you have to actually place them in areas where the flow of the film makes sense for there to be a character moment, and not just so that way there's like a filler space in between the next action scene, because most of their conversations had absolutely no meaning on what was going on. They just existed to fill space in between the action sequences. And like the colors in this movie are so muted. It's like, it's boring to look at. I just like, this movie very nearly put me to sleep. It is the first time that I didn't actually fall asleep, but there was a point where my eyes were closed and I had yawned. Because I've never fallen to sleep in a movie theater before, and this came very, very close. It was just boring. It was so boring. Yeah.
I mean, it also had just some structural problems for me where I think there are things that they let us know. Well, first, there was something they really misled us as viewers. There's an instance where a new character comes into the movie and it's their intentions, whether they're good or they're bad, are implied by something that we see them do. Right. And we find out later that it may not be what we thought it was. But when you don't know that character, what they imply is like, oh, okay, this is a thing. But when you actually re-examine that character moment, that introduction at the end of the movie, when we know who that character is, that behavior makes zero sense. It was only behavior that was done that way to mislead the audience for the sake of the audience. Like, It makes zero sense. And also, like, one of the things that we discover happens way too early in the movie. Like, that should have been a late third act reveal, or like, maybe early third act at earliest, but like we shouldn't have found that out in the second act, because it kind of, every single time that something happened, it basically got undone, and then it would get redone and then undone again, and it happened like 4 times, and it's like, it didn't need to happen that way, because we could have been focusing on something else in the movie until that end point, and it just seemed like really redundant. And I was like, why does this movie feel like it has 5 acts, even though it's not that long?
I cannot figure out the 3-act structure of this movie. Like, I not that every movie has to have 3 acts, but like I don't understand the structure of this. Like, so I was, after the first 30 minutes, I checked my watch and I was like, oh, it's only 30 minutes. But like I just continued to check my watch throughout the film. Not a phone. It was a Fitbit, so I wasn't shining, light into people's faces who are actually, I guess, somehow trying to enjoy the movie. But like, about like 55 minutes to like an hour into the movie, like it feels like we're like wrapping up, but then it feels like, okay, we're done. But then it's not even an inventive way to like reinvigorate the story. It's just like, oh, actually, no, the first hour of the movie was pointless.
Yeah. By the way,
and like,
I have to tattle on someone I know did fall asleep during this movie.
It's very easy to fall asleep during this movie.
I just turned 39, Trevor. It's getting easier for me to fall asleep during any movie, but it was particularly easy to fall asleep during this movie.
You didn't fall asleep during three of the longest movies we saw last year, Dune, Annette, and No Way Home. You didn't fall asleep during any of those. And Dune is definitely a deliberate movie. It is deliberately paced. It's not slow.
Yeah.
It's deliberate. But you didn't fall asleep during those movies because they kept your attention.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I assume you didn't fall asleep during Drive My Car, which is 3 hours long.
No, we watched that at home too, though. I mean, in theaters, I'm more often it's becoming a bit of an issue with me nodding off. I think it's really just poor sleep management. But
I would refer Maddie to the private chat where Dan volunteered.
I volunteered that she could dime me out. Mara's very nice. She would never dime me out like that unless I gave her permission. But yeah, I don't mind saying that I did doze off for about 5 to 10 minutes. Luckily, as you mentioned, it's very easy to know what had happened. Wow!
So I just look over and I'm like, I know you're asleep.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I have something to say. Diane Kruger's hair changed for one scene to a different color.
Yeah, I assume because again, as a spy, she probably put rinse out hair color in her hair.
Okay, it just seemed very it wasn't addressed at all, and I was slightly confused. That's a very minor gripe. But her hair was just all of a sudden brown, and then it was all of a sudden blonde. Not that we need to see her rinse out her hair or something. Just slightly confusing. I was just making sure I wasn't the only one who saw that. So
there was a scene where Jessica Chastain's character, I guess, was wearing a wig, but it looked just like her regular hair, so I didn't know she was wearing a wig. And then she pulled off her wig, and her real hair was under the wig. But I was like, I didn't even know you were wearing a wig.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very weird.
Oh, by the way, we have seen Flea, and
very good.
Yeah,
it is not in theaters anywhere near me. Sadly, it is one of my most anticipated movies of the year.
When Trevor can watch it.
Yeah,
I'm at this point I'm just gonna have to wait for a streaming release because it's nowhere near me in theaters. I would have to drive 6 or 7 hours to see this movie, which is disappointing. But yes, I'm very, very excited to see it. I cannot wait. So we'll get to it eventually.
Remember I actually grabbed Dan's watch to look at what time it was. That never happens in a movie.
Did, yeah.
This is the only time I was in a theater where I had to keep checking it. And this movie's 2 hours long. So right before going to the theater to see this, I rewatched Midsommar, which is 2:20, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie feels like it's an hour and a half. Because with each scene, it propels you into the next thing. It there are smaller and slower moments, but nothing ever feels like it's dragging. Nothing ever feels repetitive. It doesn't ever feel like it's both talking down to the audience while also being because the 355 was the definition of just assuming the audience is dumb.
Well, here's the thing, though. I will say this, though. Again, 90%, 98% of that movie, they were actually doing a very good job of showing me and not telling me that these were strong, capable, intelligent, incredibly badass human beings. And yes, they were women, but they weren't pointing it out that all the heroes are these women and all the bad people are these men. It wasn't on the nose at all. It was actually done well. With all the other mistakes that movie made, it was doing a really good job of doing that.
Yes, I will say it still did feel like it was, assuming the audience was dumb, just with a lot of the twists, I guess. It felt the need to point them out 5 times.
We heard someone in our audience gasp when something happened, and I was like, have you never seen a single movie before? And I'm not saying oh, you're dumb. It's just I think that even the most casual moviegoer and movie watcher saw one major item in that movie coming, one major occurrence. And so when we heard what? I was like, are you serious?
I have to. I have to. Yeah. I'm assuming it's a thing that has to do with something with. Yeah, I won't say anything. Just think. Yeah, I mean, it's not people will be surprised by the twist.
Here, hold on. I'll text you in the private chat.
Okay. But yeah, it's everything is so telegraphed in this movie. It was that? Okay.
The first
I was
time,
thinking. Okay. I was thinking it was here. I'll send. This is gonna be so entertaining for people. We're just
I
gonna
know, right?
send
This
things
is
back and
so
forth in the
exciting.
private
We're
chat.
just going to be messaging each other and you guys won't know what we're saying.
Yeah.
This is why you this is why you come here. Ooh. What does Dan have working on this?
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
So, if I may, this was my. This is my. This is what the last allegory. This is the last 10 minutes of the film. Were just like this line, also written by Simon Kinberg.
And by the way, the women are always saving the men around here. You might want to think about changing the name to ex-women.
Boo.
That goes up there with like the Mortal Kombat. Yeah, that goes up there with the Mortal Kombat Annihilation line, where it's like, and so you too will die.
I mean, beyond just like the thuddingly obviousness of that line, it's so poorly constructed.
Yeah,
because she says, and by the way, the women are always saving the men around here. You might want to call it ex-women. It's like, but you already said women. Like, you already said the punchline before you said the punchline. So it's like, even beyond just the fact that it is like just smashing you in the face with the message in the movie, inaccurately, by the way, because we've just come from a mission where the two of the male X-Men characters saved everybody on the space shuttle thing. So like, it doesn't even make sense what she's saying.
I'm so sorry. I think Nightcrawler is kind of
constructed.
responsible for saving everybody right now. Like, Jean Grey's responsible for not getting killed by something. She didn't actually like do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and it's like, I think at the time it's like,
Jennifer Lawrence didn't do
by
shit.
the way, it looks like me, Storm, and Jean are the ones saving around here, so you should probably think changing the name to ex-women. But it's like, it's just so, it's like, even the construction of the line is bad. I think Jennifer Lawrence should have gotten a second Oscar for just being able to deliver that line in any sort of half sincere way.
Yeah.
Natty, this is 100% going to be an awards movie for us next year. I can promise you it's going to be on my worst list, almost certainly.
Oh yeah, no, this is a strong contender for worst picture 2022. Though I will say, I don't think that like, I would be surprised if any of the performers ended up on worst actor, because none of them. The cast did
with it. Yeah,
the cast did a good job. Like, it's also just like I said, a delightful cast. Jessica Chastain, Lupita Nyong'o, and Penelope Cruz alone, like, what a trio. Like, it's a very good cast. Like, I'm happy
also,
to see
Diane
Sebastian
Kruger and Penelope Cruz are never going to age. They're going to be gorgeous, flawless human beings till the end of time.
It's like, how old is Penelope Cruz? Because
I don't
whatever
even care.
it is,
I don't
it will
want to know.
shock me.
Because she just, like, they're shown in pretty extreme close-up in a lot of scenes because they have some emotional things that they have to do. And she's not wearing a lot of heavy makeup, and she just looks so beautiful. It's like painful.
Reportedly 47 years old.
Lies.
Reportedly.
I know, right? I disagree. Oh, actually, that's something I want to bring up. I'm going to rant for a moment. Dan, would you like to be present or would you like to leave?
I'll sit out, but thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so there was a small amount of controversy surrounding the casting of Penelope Cruz, and I'd like to give a little bit of small background based on my research that originally the character was sort of conceived to be Brazilian, and when Penelope Cruz was in talks about being in the movie, she was like, it's not really appropriate for me to play a Brazilian because, number one, their primary language is Portuguese. And also, they were colonized primarily by France. So like Portugal, those parts of Europe, not Spain. And so she was like, I don't really think that that's a good fit. That doesn't seem like the right kind of casting choice. So they were talking about it, and Colombia, which was colonized more primarily from Spain. So there's cultural ties to that place and ancestral ties. They decided Colombia would be better. And she is from Spain, not from Colombia, but there was a little bit of a small minor amount of controversy about like, well, why would you cast Penelope Cruz? There are insert 3-4 other like Colombian nationals that are acting that could have played the role. And I think that Jessica Chastain came to the defense of that casting choice because she produced the film really well. I think it was really well articulated. She said, we didn't want to like focus casting based on nation of origin, but making sure that we were correctly representing the culture of a people. And I think that that is so important because even though she meant it, like we're evolving in the ways that we look at casting. And I think that that's awesome. But like national origin doesn't, I don't think that that needs to be the criteria for a casting choice because, for example, like Andrew Garfield, he was born in the United States but grew up in the UK, and he has passports for both countries. He's citizens of both, but he has played English characters with his native accent, and he's played American characters with an American accent. Are we saying that like there should be a line drawn in the sand based on where he was born, even though clearly he grew up steeped in the culture of the United Kingdom? Like, and also we were colonized by the United Kingdom, so primarily, so like, you know what I mean? I just think that that controversy is like so stupid because I think that anyone can come from anywhere and can look like anybody. Like, and also this is not a movie that's a biopic. These are all fictional characters, and the intention was to create a character that would feel a connection to Colombia based on the culture of that place, which she has a shared ancestral history with. And I think that that's what's important. The intention was there to not disrespect the persons of Colombia.
Right.
But like, what if you're the child of Colombian parents who was born in America but grew up in Colombia? Like, someone would be like, well, you weren't born there, by that logic, by that metric that some people were saying. And I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, 100%. And like, I mean, like also just like the ideas of like countries borders change all the time. They're also like, were made up by people hundreds of years ago. So assigning people different roles based off of something that they like can't control. Like, obviously I'm not saying that, like someone, from like America should play like as a native of like Africa with like blackface. And I think that that's where like a bunch of like this kind of came from. And obviously like, you shouldn't be like changing like that. But like, once again, if the intention is positive and like it isn't, I don't know, like there's just there was no malicious intent there. I mean, Garth
we
points out,
specifically had a
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
conversation about the appropriateness of her playing a character that really wouldn't be appropriate based on cultural ties. So, like, they even had a conversation about it specifically.
Right.
I don't know.
And like Garth mentions, Catherine Zeta-Jones is Welsh. Like, should she only play Welsh characters? Obviously not. So I don't know what the problem with this is. And like, I mean, Tom Holland. Should he not be allowed to play Spider-Man because he's British? And Spider-Man's an American character. Like, it's
this is not you, Trevor, and this is not like, I don't want to generalize to every younger person, but I do feel like people are really hypersensitive now, and I think that here's the thing, every single person is an individual. Like, for example, how I feel about something that's related to like my nation of origin, like my family's ancestral history or my religion or what my gender identity or my sexual identity is, which like, or my political views or my social philosophies, all of that stuff is individual to me. I am not an ambassador for any of those groups that I might belong to. And someone who is a carbon copy of me could have a different perspective on how they want to be treated, how they want to be addressed, how they want to be grouped. And that's because every single person is unique and precious and equally valuable. But like the idea that everyone, like you can no longer like collectively say or do anything because someone will be offended and they will cause enough of a fuss about it when no intent was made from a standpoint of like, hey, we're just having a conversation. And it just bothers me so much that like, guess what? When I grew up, if I was in a group of people and like, okay, I'm just going to get a little specific. I don't really like being called a lady, like young lady, or like ladies, you on this side, gentlemen, you on this side. I don't like that. Like, that's not how I prefer to identify myself. I don't feel like that word applies to me. Like I don't feel like I belong in that group. That's not how I see myself. And I'm not going to go into the specifics of anything more related to that, so please don't ask. But like, just because that doesn't make me feel like I'm being addressed or like I belong, guess what? If someone said that, they were not intending to disrespect me personally. I'm just going to go with it because they don't know me or my preferences. I don't feel the need to just like go out and say, excuse me, you didn't ask me if I wanted to be identified as a lady or a gentleman or a person or this. Like, I'm just a human being. And guess what? Other ladies in that group might just be totally fine. And you know what? It's fine with me. Like they're not insulting me personally. They're not trying to say something and like dehumanize me or delabel me. And you know what? I'm fine. Like, I'm totally fine.
And like the idea of like, I mean, because people talk about like cancel culture or like, but like, I mean, I think we should really just be asking people to be like accountable, but that doesn't mean that like, if we disagree with how one person does something, that like they can no longer have a career. Though if they do something wrong, then they should be accountable for it. But like there's a fine line there, and people often just like lump all of those ideas into one thing. Which is how you get like, I mean, because like this backlash against this is just like dumb. I mean, I was not aware of it, but the fact that it exists is
I mean, it's not like a huge deal, but the other thing is like it's kind of indicative of the bigger problem, which is like people a lot of times I think throw a fuss about some of this stuff, not like maybe they do care legitimately, and it's definitely important that they care and they talk about it with people that they know, so that way people that they know can further understand them and stuff like that. But by giving people the clicks, the likes, the retweets, reading the articles, like, yes, I did read the article, but like really I shouldn't have. I just wanted to understand it so we could talk about it in this show. But like giving that attention further services algorithms prioritizing stuff like that and saying, hey, outrage fuels like attention, commerce, like that sort of stuff makes more of that stuff. You're rewarding it by giving it your time, your attention and stuff. And it's important to address it so that way we can maybe try to say like, okay, you know what? Maybe this uproar is not really very necessary. And if you feel that way as a personal human being and you want to talk about that with people, it can offend you. Like it totally can. That's 100% within, like you're a person. You have likes and dislikes and they don't always have to be explainable, but also like don't publicly slam someone for not actually doing anything wrong.
Right. Like, just because it's your opinion, it doesn't mean that is objectively right. And a lot of, for instance, with this it is people's opinions that are being published as like objectively right, because like I don't know. I feel like we see like negatives. We see negatives as like we try and treat them with like more like reverence and give them more attention than anything that's positive, or just like nothing at all, like just like in the middle, and like anything that's negative will always get more attention, and the more attention something has, the more we assign it as truth.
Well, yeah, I mean, it gives people power to challenge a system because they're being a hero. They're like, I have the courage to say this.
Right.
Which
then just makes a bunch of people self-righteous, which is, but yeah, it's I guess like, the core message, what all you kids should learn out of this Sesame Street episode,
is that Rocco is not real and he does not need that freaking cookie. All right. He doesn't need a cookie. How's he going to eat it? I refer to Elmo. How's he going to eat it? Dan showed this thing to me. I was not aware of the Elmo saga, and I've
Trevor, you've been keeping up with the saga of Elmo, right? And Rocco.
No.
Oh my God!
Okay,
Dan, we don't monetize this show, so we got to pull it up.
Yeah, the show's not monetized.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't monetize.
You can send us a Streamlab.
That's true. Oh my God!
But yeah.
So I'm just gonna say right now, Elmo is being a real snarky bee, and it is awesome.
Right,
okay. All right.
So beautiful.
It's react time, everybody.
I mean, there's more. This was the thing that kicked it off. There have been more Elmo Rocco videos that have been circulating.
And then Elmo has been tweeting very, very snarky stuff.
Oh, wow.
By the way, I love Elmo. So like not
Me too.
like on a Snoopy level, but I love Elmo. So I'm very happy to see Elmo this happening with Elmo. All right.
Elmo's getting the spotlight right now, and Elmo deserves it.
Elmo does deserve it. All right, can we see it? Yes, it's up. Okay.
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Oh, Gabby, can Elmo have an oatmeal raisin cookie instead, please?
Oh, gee, Elmo, that was my last one.
Oh, that's okay, Gabby. Elmo will just get this one. No, wait, Elmo. Rocco says that he wants the oatmeal raisin cookie. Rocco? Rocco's a rock, Zoe. Rocco won't know the difference. Yes, he will. You can't have that cookie, Elmo. Rocco wants to eat it. How? How is Rocco going to eat that cookie, Zoe? Tell Elmo. Rocco doesn't even have a mouth. Rocco's just a rock. Rocco's not alive. That's Elmo's statement.
Yeah, no, Team Elmo here. Team Elmo.
Yeah. Let's see. There's another one that was...
Rocco's not alive.
This is so dark.
How?
This is so dark.
How is Rocco gonna? There's also hang on. There's the second one that came out. Hang on.
Okay. Wait,
Oh, here we
Maddie
go. This
asks,
is it.
did you see The Rock's response to Elmo?
What?
No. All right, this is the second one that made
yes.
me laugh.
Yes, yes,
Ready?
yes.
Can you still see it?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, Elmo. Hi, Zoe. Hi. I'm sorry I'm late, but Rocco had to go to the potty. What? Hey, Elmo. I'm sorry I'm late, but Rocco...
Why did we lead with this?
Potty. What?
We would have gotten so many more views if we led with Elmo.
Yeah.
Dan, will you do some research for me?
Anyway. Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, I'm looking now.
Okay, thank you. I don't know why I love it so much.
I think that's the fastest that anybody's transitioned from a conversation about like about backlash to a casting and like about nationality and about like cancel culture and accountability culture to Elmo and a rock.
It's true. Yeah,
I
I don't know
think-
how
I think we
got
just
here,
set a
but
world
I'm
record.
happy.
Can we get the Guinness guys down here? That's wonderful.
Yeah. I just love that. To be honest, Twitter is such a dumpster fire. I love that I can log on sometimes and it's about Elmo. And it's just Twitter is just talking about Elmo. That's it.
Yeah.
It just kind of reminds me of what Twitter used to be. All right, so here was The Rock's response. Elmo tweeted, "Has anybody ever seen a rock eat a cookie? Elmo is just curious." And Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, replies, "Yes, my friend, this rock devours cookies, all kinds of cookies. I'll introduce you to hashtag cheat meals and it'll change your life. Tell Cookie Monster to move it over because I'm coming to Sesame Street to kick ass and eat cookies, and I'm almost all out of cookies."
Oh!
That's wonderful.
So Cookie Monster responded, "Me say cookie challenge accepted."
I want to see this rivalry happen.
Yeah. So it's now moved on to Cookie Monster and The Rock challenging each other to a cookie eating contest.
I love that Cookie Monster's bio says, "Me official, me love cookies, me officially love cookies."
Trevor, you may be too young. You may be too young, but this is what Twitter used to be. This is what Twitter in its purest form back in 2009, 2010 was. It was things like old Sesame Street clips and The Rock and challenging Cookie Monster to a cookie eating contest. And then it all just went to hell. But every once in a while, the glimmer of what Twitter used to be pops
reappears
through.
to remind us how far we've fallen.
Yeah.
By the way, it's freezing up here, Dan. I'm going to die.
Yeah, it's very cold.
Thanks.
Anyway, so I'm glad we could introduce you to the Elmo saga on Twitter, Trevor.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's been so wonderful to share this with you.
I appreciate it.
So,
I
Sorry,
think we've
this has been kind of off the rails. Like, you should have. I'm sure I did not make my point eloquently. Probably did way better earlier when I was like ranting to Dan. But point being, we got to share this joy with you about Elmo, and somehow we got there. And I think we should probably pivot to the tender bar because we said we'd talk about it.
I sure. Even though I would love to just spend the entire show talking about Elmo.
By the way, I did actually put in the poster for the 355, and then I didn't actually do anything with it. So I just want to show people I did my job, just not very well. But here's the tender bar as well. I hope that other people have actually watched it. So yeah, why don't you start? You watched it today. I watched it today.
Yes, Amazon Prime yesterday. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's like I said. It's been on theaters for a bit in like limited release. So, we'll see. Do you want to kick us off with this one?
Sure, why not? How did that get there? I liked it. For people that may not be familiar with it, Ben Affleck is a boss in this movie. He plays a character who owns a bar. I mean, surprise. But his sister has a young child, and he helps to be a father figure for this child. Excuse me, along with the friends/patrons of his bar. And that was actually the part of the movie that I found very endearing, even if we didn't get enough of it, which I know that we discussed earlier. But
yeah.
I like the concept of someone you can't. Again, I'm not going to say this especially well, but this is what I said to you earlier. You cannot choose who your sperm donor was, but you can choose your family, and you can be lucky enough to be surrounded by people, even if it takes a tribe of people, to collectively create a really wonderful father figure for you, so that way you don't repeat the cycle of abandonment, and so that way you can have catharsis over, the emotional complications of not having your biological father be in your life at a young age. And it's really sweet without being sickly sweet, which is a really hard sell for me because I'm not usually very sentimental about stuff that isn't animal related. I wish I would have gotten more of some of that stuff. Like those interpersonal family relationships, but every single scene that Ben Affleck is in, I want to just be friends with that character, especially because he's trying to teach these life lessons to this little boy, and he's like, never ever hit a woman, even if she stabs you with a pair of scissors, which 100% happened to him as a character, and I love that.
Oh, 100. Ben Affleck crushes.
He's always been the superior Affleck, but even more so.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I won't say anything. I
think everyone knows what we're thinking.
But yeah, no, this movie was perfectly harmless, aside from Ty Sheridan's face, which was harmful. But debatable.
I would say that he has enough post Daredevil work to make up for Daredevil cumulatively. Yes. No single work of art can make up for Daredevil.
Yeah. No, that checks out. I guess this movie just didn't give me enough of anything. Like, it gave me a serviceable amount for me to not mind watching it. Like, there wasn't a point where I was bored watching it. It's a pretty brisk watch. It's an hour 40. It never feels like it drags. But I don't know. I didn't really come away feeling that much. It's so weird. The movies that because usually I'm the one who gets more emotionally invested into films and actually feel things. No shade. But this time you're the one that got, I feel more actually emotionally in touch. Oh, camera just moves. More emotionally in touch with this film than me, because I don't know, I didn't feel that much. I thought that it was just a serviceable movie that I'll probably forget about by the end of the month. And I mean, I think it's very clear that Ben Affleck was the standout. Like, he's incredible. And like, I even would have liked to see more of him. Like, he was in the movie a considerable amount. But yeah, he just seemed like a character that like I wanted a whole movie about them. Very comparable to like Bradley Cooper in Licorice Pizza. I wanted a whole movie about this person. And like, I mean, I think that's what a great supporting performance can do, but it also very much outshined Ty Sheridan, who is probably the worst actor working today, and I never want to see him in a movie again. But
Tell me what you really think.
Hey, okay, but you agreed with me. You do not like Ty Sheridan either. Maybe not to the extent of the hatred I have for him, but
this is not meant to be cruel in any way, because we all have preferences. I don't like his face. It does not. I don't find it aesthetically pleasing to me personally, and so of course he's going to be seen a lot because he's like the main character of a big portion of that movie. I can't. His face is an enigma to me. I can't decipher what it is, and I know that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No, but I 100% agree.
But I'm not calling him like ugly. I'm not saying he needs to fix his face. I'm not saying anything like that. It confuses me, and I don't like being confused.
I am saying that he's a bad actor because he is.
Oh, that's fine. I just mean like I'm not gonna commit him to like being body shamed, and I don't endorse that. I just mean that like my brain doesn't understand his face. That's all.
Yeah, I mean it. Who knows? Maybe he's just the next string of human evolution. Maybe that's just what all humans' faces will look like, and we don't understand them yet. But
good fun.
But as of now,
I'm trying not to be mean. That wasn't the point.
We're trying not to be that mean, but like Ty Sheridan, like I'd be fine if I never see him again.
I'm sure that my face looks weird and terrible to somebody, as long as they don't tell me that I should like go kill myself because they don't like how I look. That's where the line gets drawn. You know what I mean? So like. Right. People can not like things. It's all about just making sure you don't make someone feel terrible because of something about themselves. That's all. I don't think I'm not trying to make him feel terrible about how he looks. Is all I mean.
And once again, I would like to reiterate, I do want to make him feel terrible about his acting because he needs to get a different acting coach or whatever. Maybe
right. And those are that's totally a different thing. By all means, Trevor, shame him all you like.
Yeah.
Joking.
Matt, I do want to go back to something actually here. Maddie said that if Cookie Monster beats The Rock, I'll get a Cookie Monster tattoo, and I think we need to hold you to that.
I think that might have to be a segment. You might have to video chronicle this, Maddie, and then let us put it on the internet.
Yeah, and we will force you to. We have people, such as John Kaiser, who will go to your house, and. FBI if you're watching, apologies. Yeah, so the Tender Bar. I don't know. I don't have that much to say about this movie because like it's just like a fine movie to me. I didn't come up with that much. I would have liked it to focus more on like I was saying, like the relationships between like Ty Sheridan's I've already forgot the character name. Like JR, thank you. Oh, that was actually very easy to remember. Between like JR and like this like family fathers at the bar. I would like to see more of that and less of just like random like relationship subplots. Because I don't know why that needed to be there. Like they were trying to do like a whole like rich versus poor like economic classism thing that's like a completely different movie. That this is like, sure, you can talk about that and you can do that in a very interesting way, just not in the movie where that isn't your main message, because that's a very big theme to tackle. So I don't know. And Maddie is all in. So we're good. We're establishing a through line. We can keep the people coming back to see if Maddie gets the tattoo.
Look at what we're doing. We're making something
new. We're writing a better plot than Simon Kinberg ever could.
Ooh, Ooh, that's going on the reel. That's on the 2022 reel for the show.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about the Tender Bar? Okay, so I found a game that I
Okay.
just
Oh, by the
Googled.
way, we're gonna have a special guest in about 10 minutes.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
Well,
So
maybe the special guest can. So the special guest can stay for another segment we have planned because that will be fun, especially
I
considering.
mean, we
the
can
special
also
guest.
do another IMDb thing as
Right,
well because they
yeah.
haven't done that with us yet.
Yes. But for now, I Googled movie Would You Rather.
Oh,
And-
yes, please.
I have found a BuzzFeed Would You Rather quiz from April 11th, 2018. So I'm going to read this off to you. Are you
All
ready?
right.
Would you
I'm
rather
still ready?
Would you rather attend Hogwarts or visit Narnia?
Okay, so my instinct was immediately to visit Hogwarts. Attend Hogwarts. However, track record at that school is not great for child
No.
safety. So
No.
I'm going to go with visit Narnia because I assume that means I will just go there and come back because visiting implies that it's a closed loop trip and that I'll make it back alive. So I'm going to say visit Narnia despite really liking the idea of Hogwarts.
Okay, and death or not. Would you rather be a tribute in the Hunger Games or explore the maze in the Maze Runner?
Ooh. Well, you know my feelings on child murder. I'm going to go with the Hunger Games.
Okay.
Sorry, that's an inside joke. That is not reflective of my actual worldviews. I just mean that, like, in the fictional universe, I would way rather like risk myself amongst a group of small people that are about my size than like weird machine crap inside a maze that I probably don't stand a chance against. Even though Wicked is good.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah,
I've read The Maze Runner. I'm sorry.
No further questions. Would you rather be a Jedi in Star Wars or a Hobbit in Lord of the Rings? I feel like this is.
I mean, I am Hobbit sized. I would say I'd want to be a Jedi though, because come on, man.
Yeah, agreed. Would you rather live in the Matrix or enter dreams in Inception? Well, don't we
Inception.
Yeah. Also, don't we just live in the Matrix as it is?
Probably.
Like, yeah. But no, definitely Inception. Would you rather be part of the Avengers or part of the Justice League?
Okay. Prepare yourselves. All right.
Okay.
If we're talking about comic books, I
This
would
is
like to
movies.
be in the Justice League. No, it's not, Trevor. If
Okay,
we're talking
I will
comic
leave.
books, it's the Justice League. If we're talking movies, it's the Avengers. But I just want to be
Okay.
very clear that, like, I think that there are notable exceptions to this, but overall, I like the way in which DC shapes their characters, and I like the places that they take them a little bit more overall than like the Avengers comic storylines. Just overall, just very broadly, there's notable exceptions on both sides, but I like the fact that cinematically it's very, very clear that Marvel has a better idea of how to give characters their due and also flesh them out, give them 3 dimensions, give them motivations, make me understand them like they're real people, even though they're very clearly not. So yeah, if it's in the movies, I want to be in the Avengers.
Also, if you're part
DC
of the
Comics are
Avengers,
boss.
if you're part of the Avengers, you could actually see things contrary to if you're part of the Justice League.
Good one.
All right. Would you rather watch the tape in The Ring or read the book in the Babadook?
Ooh. Well, all I had to do was just stop, would be to confront my grief and then just feed the Babadook earthworms in my basement. So consequences are very low, and I do like reading. I think that because the written word is almost totally dead, I would want to support reading.
Okay. Support reading. All right. Would you rather be a plastic in Mean Girls or be a member of the Breakfast Club?
I've
Not
never seen the
Breakfast at
Breakfast Club.
Tiffany's.
Yeah, not
Um,
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
So I'm assuming you would like to be plastic.
Sure, why not? Like I said, I've never seen the Breakfast Club because I'm a terrible person who apparently doesn't like
Okay.
movies.
All right. I don't know if you've seen both of these. Would you rather dance with Johnny Castle in Dirty Dancing, or have Patrick Verona sing to you in 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh, I've seen both of these. Oh my god. Oh, okay. So granted, as a dancer, I would be very inclined, even though it is Dirty Dancing and it's not ballet, to want to dance with Swayze, because I mean he's Swayze, but excuse me, in 10 Things I Hate About You, that's actually our song, Dan and I.
Oh
Can't Take
yeah.
My Eyes Off You. So I would say that it has to be that one. Also, by the way, it's our anniversary today. Happy anniversary, Dan.
Yes,
Except he's
happy
peeing,
anniversary.
so he can't say anything right now because he's peeing.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, Dan.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather fight Billy Hope from Southpaw or fight Rocky Balboa from Rocky?
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. I actually just kind of want to see the two of them fight each other.
So maybe you could accept like both of their invitations and give them the same spot and then just not show up, and then maybe they'll fight.
100%.
Okay.
I would say I probably stand a slightly better chance. I think my odds are worse against Rocky, so I think I'd want to try to make it out of that thing alive. And no matter how hard I punch Rocky, he's not going to fall over because he's a cyborg. It hasn't come out yet in canon.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like this one it should be so easy for everybody. Would you rather own Woody from Toy Story or own a Minion from Despicable Me? This one should just be
I don't
easy.
even think that someone should have to ever dignify this with an answer, because it's the only reason why I would ever have a minion would be so that way I could kill it. And I don't support doing that because that's cruel and unusual punishment against a living thing. And that is wrong. So, in an effort to preserve my ethical views on sentient beings, I'm going to say that I'd rather have Woody, even though there's really no point because he's never going to be alive while I'm there. So I don't get to enjoy any of the antics.
That's
We should
fair.
ask Dan that question. Hey, Dan, would you rather?
Woody all day. I'd own
But then
47
what's your actual
Woodies.
answer?
Out of context, Dan, that sounds very bad.
Woody all day. Yeah.
That's going on the reel. 2022 is starting off with a bang. And Trevor's down.
Woody all day. Woody. I wish they'd
So-
install a giant Woody looking over the 101 freeway. I would prefer a giant Woody of either type looking over the 101 freeway than the Minion that's there right now.
Dan.
That's the truth.
So
All right.
I
Maddie
have
seems
another
to
game.
disagree.
Different game. So I'm
We
going
have
to
to play
make
this
up a
with
game.
Adam
You ready?
at some point.
Oh,
because-
movie. Would you rather,
Yeah.
or just Woody or Minion?
Movie would you rather? Actually, you know what? That's going to be a new thing. We can make our own.
Yes, 100%. We don't need BuzzFeed. All right. So
No
this
one
is kind
does.
of yeah, fair. So this is kind of a would you rather-esque game, and it is you have to pick one movie. So I'm going to give you two options. Okay, one movie has to never exist.
Okay. You in, Dan? Dan?
Yeah. Sorry.
I said, are you in?
Yeah. I thought you said you and Dan.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Spider-Man No Way Home or The Godfather. One of them has to never exist.
And I'm sorry, but it's Spider-Man No Way Home for me. I loved it, but The Godfather's The Godfather.
I mean, I have to agree with him, but I don't want to.
Bonacera. How could you treat Spider-Man so disrespectfully?
I mean, here's
That's
the thing about The
actually pretty good.
Godfather. I've never wanted more in my life to root for a character who's so pure and good to commit a double murder in my life until I saw that movie, because I was like, oh, you're ruining your life, Michael, but I want you to kill both those guys and get away with it. Like, that's powerful.
You come to me and you say, Godfather, I have to choose between you and blinking Spider-Man out of existence. Buonasera.
We need to start. Okay, we need to start getting payment for Dan's impressions.
Oh, I want to make a list of all of them. That can be, we
Yeah.
can do donation goals for Dan to do impressions.
For Dan to do impressions. All right. Oh, okay. This one I think. Okay. 19. These are all random, but this is very funny. 1917 or Hereditary.
No.
I abstain.
I'm gonna make the tough choice, and I'm gonna say that sadly I would get rid of Hereditary, and I know that is painful, and I don't like it, but that's the point of the game. But as you can attest, Trevor, 1917, as I finally made my 4 Letterboxd films, and 1917's on there, so it's one of my favorite films.
Those are literally my number 1 movies in consecutive years was Hereditary, or almost consecutive. It's Hereditary in 1917, so it's like
consecutive 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
Right. So
maybe.
Yeah.
I would say painfully I would go the opposite way and say 1917. I think you could replicate the technical ability of 1917. I don't think you could ever replicate Toni Collette's performance in Hereditary or Alex Wolff's or anybody's. So
also, does getting rid of Hereditary mean that Ari Aster's career never takes off?
Maybe.
And then we do the Midsommar.
It's our anniversary. Pick what I pick.
Why do I have to pick what you pick on our anniversary? Why can't you pick what I pick?
Because I picked first, and I'm gonna cry.
Do we need couples counseling over 1917 versus Hereditary? Because I'm here, I can help.
I need actual counseling over it.
Okay. The Matrix or The Social Network?
I would erase The Matrix.
I would too.
I mean, yeah, and then we don't have to deal with the sequels.
Sorry, not sorry.
All right. Ooh. Dune or Parasite? The 2021's Dune or Parasite?
Dune.
I would get rid of Dune.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Parasite is probably my favorite movie of 2019. Like,
Yeah, it's tough though.
Yeah. All right, I got a couple from the chat here. The 355 or Dear Evan Hansen?
Dear Evan
I'd
Hansen.
get rid of Dear Evan Hansen.
I didn't find anything redeeming at all about Dear Evan Hansen. The 355 at least has talented actors in it, and they put in good performances, and
you had a good nap.
Yeah. Refreshed.
All right.
Woke up refreshed.
Raimi Spider-Man 3 or The Godfather Part 3? So does this mean that the movie gets remade to finish out the trilogy for both?
Right, that's the question.
I mean, I've never seen Godfather 3, but Dan's boiled down version of it is that it's an acceptable movie that followed 2 masterpieces, and that's why people hate it. And I'm going to say Spider-Man 3 is not an acceptable movie that followed 2 very good movies. So I'm going to get rid of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I would also get rid of Spider-Man 3.
All right. Now, okay. We have Blade Runner 2049 or American Psycho.
I think that I like Blade Runner 2049 a little bit more than most people, and I think I like American Psycho. Not that I dislike it, but I think I like it a little less than most people. So I would get rid of American Psycho.
I agree, even though I would say I like American Psycho more than most people that actually like it, but I don't think it's as inflated as people make it.
Yeah. All right. Now we have. Oh, I don't like this. Moonlight or
I don't
Marriage
like that
Story.
either.
I don't like this at all. Moonlight or Marriage Story.
I mean, I really loved Marriage Story, but I'm totally fine with getting rid of the somewhat indulgent autobiographical arguing of that film versus the groundbreaking structure and performances of Moonlight. So
Yeah, I agree.
I liked Marriage
Yeah.
Story. I think it was in my top 10 that year, but no, Moonlight would.
I would agree. I
Well,
think it's Moonlight. Also, like that's like the third time. If you go back and look at Noah Baumbach's films, like I just watched The Squid and the Whale, and like Noah Baumbach's basically made that movie like 3 different times. Marriage
Yeah,
Story
no,
is
he's gone from
best
making
version.
movies about his parents' crumbling marriage to making movies about his own crumbling marriage. It's
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm dropping. Okay, I'm dropping RoboCop. I feel like.
I can't drop RoboCop.
Okay,
I'm
but
sorry.
if we drop Terminator, do we get Terminator 2?
No,
Exactly. That's part of my thought process.
I just
So-
think RoboCop is that good.
But then we don't. I don't know. I feel like Terminator actually has a good sequel that we get out of it. Like I prefer Terminator to RoboCop. I think in general, but then Terminator also has a good sequel, whereas I would argue RoboCop does not.
Mm.
I prefer
Yeah.
RoboCop to the Terminator, but I think Terminator 2, I don't care what came after it, how bad any of it was, because Terminator 2 is objectively the absolute best sequel out of all of them. But I think every single thing that, like, there's diminishing returns with RoboCop, but like there's acceptable things that came after, but I'd rather excuse everything that came after T2. But if I had to choose between just strictly these individual movies, I think RoboCop's the better movie.
All right. From Maddie, we have The Rock or Con Air. Both in the Criterion Collection. I have seen neither.
I would keep The Rock.
Yeah, I don't put Con Air as high in as high esteem as a lot of people do. I love The Rock, so that's a pretty easy decision for me. I'd get rid of Con Air.
Okay, Fellowship or New Hope.
New Hope is a bedrock upon which hundreds of films, including Fellowship, stand. So
Yeah,
I
I'm getting
can't.
rid
I
of
can't.
Fellowship.
If you get rid of A New Hope, I think that you wipe out dozens of great movies with it. So as much as I love Fellowship of the Ring, and I do, it's my favorite Middle Earth movie. I'd have to make the very difficult choice there.
I agree. Oh, okay. So this is an interesting one. 2 of my favorite movies of 2019: The Lighthouse or Uncut Gems.
For me,
love
same
The
thing. I
Lighthouse,
admired The Lighthouse more than I liked it. I thought it was beautifully made and the performances were wonderful, but as a movie, it didn't hit me quite the way, like, it was sort of like standing in a museum and looking at a picture like this going, oh, that's whereas Uncut Gems was just a visceral experience for me. So I would keep Uncut
Plus,
Gems.
it's also great to watch Adam Sandler try and succeed.
Hey,
and
no.
it's what?
The cat threw up on the couch.
On the couch?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Trevor?
Well, I can handle it for now. keep the show going. I'll handle it, but
I can't. How about we just switch? How about you handle the show and I handle that? Because is it on the couch covers or is it on the couch?
it's on the arm.
Of course it is. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Sorry guys. Okay. Dan, will you come up here because I'm driving the show from this computer and then I'll go down there?
Yes, I'll be right there.
Okay, because our guest is going to be here soon and I don't want to leave that person hanging in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, Trevor, riff for a minute.
All right. Chat, let's keep on throwing these out here. I will I can also post some to you guys. So the next one we have here is The Shape of Water or Birdman. This one's tricky. I would probably personally drop The Shape of Water. I think to me Birdman was a bit more impressive. But both Best Picture winners. Also looking at like what would have won that year instead, 2017. Like I personally would have liked to see Lady Bird win in 2017. I don't think that's what would have gotten in. But it's tough. I think I would drop Shape of Water. Andrew Valdez asks, Cats or Dear Evan Hansen? Okay, well, yeah. I think this is very hard. I think that I would kill Dear Evan Hansen. I think Dear Evan Hansen never exists because, like, I didn't find Cats offensive. Like, I found Cats offensive in the fact that, like, it got made and it was, offensive to, like, my eyes. Like, my eyes actually had to see, like, Idris Elba as a cat. But, like, Dear Evan Hansen was just, like, way more uncomfortable and, like, just disgusting in some of the stuff it was doing. So I think I get rid of Dear Evan Hansen here. And yes, I believe we have Adam here. We're just we're resettling. Hello, Dan.
Mara doesn't leave any leg room up here on the the couch, so I can't. Okay, hang on. Let me remove
All right.
me. Okay.
Andrew asked Cats or Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, I got a lot of entertainment from Cats.
Yeah, no, I'm getting rid of Dear Evan Hansen, 100%.
At least the right headphones.
Nick says, "Hey, Trevor, there's a literal cat on screen here. I apologize to that cat now. I apologize.
Sorry.
I believe Adam is here, so we can bring him in eventually.
Sorry.
No worries. We will. The cat.
Right, there's a slight delay in my headphones, but I'll just have to roll with it because I don't know how she was listening to the show. Okay.
Yeah. Cat vomit.
Should I bring in our guest?
Let's bring in our guest.
All right. He is one of my newest friends, one of the purest movie fans out there. I was lucky to literally have him in my corner a couple of times this year. He is a Schmodown fan favorite. He's now going to be the Basement's fan favorite, Mr. Adam Witt.
Thank you, Dan.
Adam.
You could have just brought me on. I love that Dan's like, all right, we got to do a proper lead up here. All right, he is the two-time not champion.
Johnny Carson and David Letterman. I just feel like every guest needs a lead.
Absolutely. It's master showman level of you, Dan. It's like, no. You don't just bring someone on. You got to do the whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest. It's like in Rocky IV when they announce Apollo. He's got like 12 nicknames. And now that I've added like fan favorite and all this, I'm going to keep adding them throughout the season. I think that'd be a great bit. By the end of the season, I have like 12 nicknames.
I love it.
How you guys doing?
Good. Cat vomit just happened.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
I had it on the phone and I was like getting set up here and I was like, something just happened there as I was going to here. And I'm like, and then I come on and there's two blank screens and people running around. I'm like, something weird happened.
I was watching the cat and I was like, oh, she's because they paw at the couch or they paw at things. I'm like, oh, Muffin's pawing at the couch. And then I was like, oh, no, she's about to vomit. And I got halfway out of my chair and she just goes, blah.
Oh.
Like, oh, come on. Oh, well.
Well, these things happen. It could be worse. You could have my cat, which was so excited to see me after 2 weeks that I am just absolutely scarred up.
Oh.
I left home for Christmas for a few weeks and my hands completely healed up. And then my cat was so excited that I returned that he destroyed them in like a day.
Front claws or back claws?
Front claws. The back claw, he's an indoor-outdoor cat, so there's a lot of mysteries as to how he spends his days, but the back claws are always ground down completely. And so we're like, I assume he climbs some sort of cement fences around here a lot, because the back claws just never exist. But yeah, the front claws, razor sharp. Defend himself against coyotes and all kinds of other things out there.
How's Dasher with the claws, Trevor?
Pretty good. Yes. So like if he's like on his back, he does like this thing, you know. He like kind of wants you to like pet him so that he can like, you know, like destroy your hand.
Just they trick you because they're evil.
Right. But for the most part, he's pretty good. Like he likes to claw furniture occasionally. But like a lot of them, like he never like tries to like claw us. Unless like, you know, we stick our hand there and he's doing the thing where he like likes to trick us. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm trying to figure out what's on the TV.
I'm doing the same thing. I always like to play what's Adam watching on TV.
I always try and put on some backdrop there. I have to really, my New Year's resolution needs to be work on my backdrop at all. But you know what's brand new on Tubi? I love Tubi. I love Tubi enough that I would pay for Tubi. Is the Adam West Batman TV show.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Let's see if I have options to. Oh, nope. That takes me completely off. There we go. But yes, I don't know how I don't know. It's hard to see there.
That's all right.
Have to work that out. Yes. Little Batman, the Batman TV show. My God, the origins of how much I love superhero movies to this day go to this show right here. You know, watching the cartoons.
Have you seen the animated Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders?
Yes.
We just watched it, and it's so good.
I mean, how perfect is it that Two-Face never showed up on this show? It's the one major villain that never showed up on the show because it was too grotesque, too weird. And I always did the mental challenge of like, what actor and the level of all the people that are on this show, like Frank Gorshin, these type of people that would show up at, I don't know, the roasts and weird comedy show things. And like, would Harvey Korman have been Two-Face or whatever? But then they nail it. William Shatner as Two-Face. You just
that's the second one. Did you see the first one?
Oh, I did see the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because we haven't seen the Two-Face one yet. We're gonna watch that soon, but we liked the first one a lot.
But I mean, two of my favorite actors of all time, just because they've got that style, man, are Shatner and Adam West. Have you ever seen? I had a roommate that showed me this. There is a movie, and I'm striking out on the name for the moment, but it is takes place in like gladiator times, whatever, with William Shatner, Adam West, John Cassavetes, and another like heavy hitter, like awesome, like gravitas actor. But it's like, it's Shatner and Adam West in a movie together, which I think that's the only time that happened. But the other actor in it is John Cassavetes. Alexander the Great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think I've only seen it like on YouTube, but I would love to rent it sometime. It's just this epic experience of having Adam West and who else is there anyone else in that I'm missing, or is it just those three? I mean, that's pretty big heavy hitters, but
let me check. Here, yeah, it's 1968. Yeah, we have Shatner, we have Cassavetes, we have Adam West.
Yeah.
No other major.
That's it. Yeah, that's it then. Just those three, but
yeah.
Still, yeah. Who else could compare? Who else you're going to throw in there that would even come up to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alexander the Great. We should all get together and watch that sometime. Do a viewing for The Basement, because I think it's on YouTube. I think you could just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it was a TV movie, so like there's not that many people fighting over the rights for it seems.
Right. But that acting style, man, that Shatner and Adam West acting style. Oh my God, I love Adam West so much. And I was kind of named after him too.
Really?
Not many people were named Adam at the time I was born. That name was kind of gone out. It's come back, but that was an odd name, even though it's theoretically the first name, obviously, because
I'm gonna give the driver's seat back to the captain. That's a mixed metaphor, but I'm gonna unfold myself. Oh my gosh, it's so hard.
She is a contortionist, isn't she? I love Dan trying to squeeze out of the contortionist box that Mars.
I'm gonna fall off.
I know my socks don't match. I don't care. Hello.
How dare
Socks-
you with the
socks-
socks not matching? You know, there's
Socks
a
are not supposed to match. It does not
I
matter.
actually never. I try to intentionally not match.
You little
I am
punky
the same
Brewster,
way.
you.
I am the same way. I intentionally try and wear like different socks because it doesn't matter. Like I don't understand folding socks together. Like they're just socks. I don't.
Oh, see, I
Mara,
love
you
folding
are our
socks,
punky
though. The
Brewster.
military taught me, and now
Oh.
I do them forever.
What, the right way to fold them?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a Nazi about folding. Like
Ooh.
every meaning
probably
of that
not
word.
the best.
Like, I will. No. Like if the
Not
socks
the
will not
best
allow themselves to be
verbiage.
folded, they're gonna get burned. Okay. Like the socks must conform to my standard of folding, or they die.
I had the funniest thing happen at Christmas because I have a drawer full
Did
of
it have
socks
to do
that I
with
wear.
Nazis? I don't.
Yeah,
I have
well,
OCD. Okay, it's a very, very big problem. Like
Nazis were
everything
just
must be
OCD.
exactly the way I need it.
Well, the more famously OCD people were the Nazis.
Well, I'm so glad to know that I descend from so many different areas of history books from that era.
So I have an idea of something that we can do to get off the topic of Nazis. We've talked about Nazis and Elmo in the same show. So
The segment we call "Not Speaking of Nazis."
Yeah.
So
exactly.
we
We're not
did
talking
something
about
with
burning
Mara.
socks.
So we did something
Hey.
with Mara, and now we have lots of people to play this game. We're gonna play more movie Would You Rather.
Yay!
Would you rather?
Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah, like would you rather eat 100 earthworms or one piece of dog poop? You know,
Okay.
like would you rather? Except
right,
about
Right,
movies.
So
There from the
Our
context of
our
Clues and
first question: Would you rather be Batman or Shazam?
that's pretty an easy one, I think, right? Everybody.
I don't know. Is it?
I mean, look,
it?
Shazam never knew his parents. I guess he was an orphan. That's not good. Rather than losing your parents in front of you, thinking about just the basic child trauma of the two people there. But then you get to be a god and a kid for the rest of your life.
I've been told from many sources that when you have a chance to be something else or Batman, always choose Batman. And he's my favorite superhero. So I understand that you get a myriad more powers with Shazam, but I could never turn down being the Batman.
You're rich.
Yeah, that's true. I'm rich.
Yeah, I'm
Mara?
going to go with Batman in this case, but also because
Batman,
Batman's
interesting.
one of my favorite heroes because he is not powered. Like, yes, his superpower is that he's like mega rich and he can buy like fancy Kevlar and have harpoons and stuff. But, you know, he's just a mere mortal who decides that he's going to do good for people. And I like that message. I like putting that out into the world.
Well, despite
All
the
right.
fact that Batman is on in the background and I'm obsessed with the 1989 Batman, I probably would still go Shazam. When I was a kid, there was a Shazam TV show on, and around the same time I was discovering this show. And
Yeah, Michael Gray.
yeah, Michael Gray. No, is it Michael Gray? Who is
Yes.
it? Okay. There's
Michael
two
Gray
people.
is Billy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's Billy, and then the two people that played Shazam, I can't think of. They have great names though. But yeah, I'd still go Shazam because I always loved because I loved Ultraman as a kid too, and I love the one step. You know, I can't remember what Ultraman did to turn into Ultraman or whatever, and then Shazam just had Shazam, and I just thought that was so cool to be able to turn into a superhero like that, and boom, you're flying. So yeah, I'm
In
Shazam.
Marvel Comics, they have the comics rights for Ultraman now, and they're doing a comics run on Ultraman.
I highly suggest if anybody has Pluto, the Tokushoutsu channel, which shows the original Power Rangers with subtitles, which is a very different, much more enjoyable show, and also lots of Ultraman.
Ultraman was
nice.
hitting when I was a kid the first time. I think either right around the time of Power Rangers or just as Power Rangers was hitting. But it's crazy that they're bringing it back
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
I guess that happens. Power
All
Rangers
right.
just got brought back.
So you've made a mistake, and you have a very powerful person coming after you with a personal vendetta against you. Would you rather it be Thanos or Sauron?
Well, so wait, I'm picking who my nemesis is going to be?
Yes, you're selecting who your nemesis is going to be. That is going to be hunting you down until you're dead.
I'm gonna pick Sauron in this case because if they
Yes.
send the Witch King after me, I am no man. So I feel like I've got good odds.
That's
Sauron is, I mean, is this? I mean, if you stay
No,
right
I know,
in the
but I'm
eye
saying
and you're
he
not a
sends
dummy
people
and
after
touch
you.
the Palantir, yeah, I mean, they'll send people after you. But Thanos potentially has like, if you beat him, he can just turn back time and undo your victory. So at least with
Yes,
Thanos
but why
or
would you want
Sauron,
that to be your nemesis?
I don't. I want Sauron to be my nemesis.
That's what I'm saying. I want Sauron
Yeah.
to be my nemesis. I feel like my odds
Yeah.
are better.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I'll take mystical and etheric or ethereal more than
Yeah.
like a guy with a big blade who's like, I'm going to cut your head off because
Yeah.
I like cutting heads off. You know, I don't
Avoiding
want that guy. coming
Sauron
after
is
me.
like avoiding a light. Like I can avoid
Right.
a spotlight.
Or avoiding like
Yeah.
your own soul, like whatever corrupts you from your own
Yeah.
soul is basically what you're trying to avoid. I think we're always in real life trying to avoid Sauron in some weird way. But
I have good friends who are pure of heart. I can walk. I'm going with Sauron.
yeah, man. When Thanos shows up in Avengers Endgame with that big blade, and he clearly just came from just cutting some people in half or whatever, I'm like, this guy is much more serial killer than he was in Avengers Infinity War. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with that guy.
all right. Would you rather battle a troll in Middle Earth or the Basilisk from Harry Potter?
I mean, I think I'd rather do a troll because I mean, all we gotta have is some daylight here. I can look them in the eyes, and I'm okay. I don't turn to stone or die.
Yeah. Yeah,
And they're
I
And they're
like
kind of
troll.
stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know Harry Potter as well as I know Lord of the Rings, so I will say the Basilisk because everything in Harry Potter's got to be fuzzier and cuter, right? It's just got to be cuter than going up against a troll.
Sadly, no. The basilisk is a massive snake with
Pull
poisonous
it up,
fangs
Oh,
that can turn
okay.
you into stone, or no, sorry,
Okay.
If you look
petrify
at it.
you.
I
If
have
you look at
chosen poorly.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't wait till we talk about that, Adam.
Yes, this is awesome. And Dan, can I count you in for Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yes, of course you can.
Okay, we'll schedule that. That's very exciting, Dan. I'm very excited to talk about for the Ford Fiesta. Dan's going to come on for Raiders. Mara's going to come on for The Last Crusade. And I assume that just gives Parker Temple of Doom. Because we asked and he didn't answer.
But I was like, yeah, Robbie, first come, first served, and we took the best. Like, I like Temple of Doom more than most people, but like, still, it's got to be Raiders or Last Crusade if you have first dibs.
Yeah.
Last Crusade is the best Indiana Jones movie. Nobody can tell me otherwise.
Well, I can tell
Well,
you
you can
otherwise.
watch when I talk about it with Adam. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather binge the entirety of the Star Trek franchise, just films only, or binge watch? Yes, that's the best.
That's
Adam.
the
That's what you've
basilisk.
chosen.
That's what you've chosen to battle.
He's
it's
pointy.
huge.
He's
Yeah,
pointy.
very pointy.
But maybe
Not
I get
pussy.
swallowed all at once?
Yeah, those fangs maybe harder than wood. All right. So the the Star Trek film franchise, so 13 films, or
Okay.
binge watch the Middle Earth extended editions for all 6. So you have the options of the entirety of Star Trek or the entirety of the
Ooh.
Middle Earth extended
Wow,
editions.
this is a very
What
good
are you-
question.
What are you
would,
marathoning?
Star Trek, because even
I
the
would-
bad ones are very watchable.
Right.
I would choose Middle Earth. I
Yeah.
think, and because Star Trek is a little bit like this. It's a little bit like a roller coaster ride, which if you can pick and choose is fine. But I'd watch them chronologically, so Middle Earth it would go like that, and you'd crescendo, So you start off a
Yeah.
little bit lower, and then you build up. So I'd go with Middle Earth.
But do
I
you really
just-
want to suffer through 12 hours of Hobbit or something? Like,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
rather suffer through 12
Oh,
hours
yeah.
of Hobbit than Star Trek the Motion Picture once.
Ha ha ha.
Oh, you know what? I think you might.
Dan makes a
Agreed.
very good point.
yeah, actually agreed.
I changed my vote.
Yeah,
I mean,
agree.
there's a great place in my heart for Star Trek because I was a Star Wars kid, but of course that launched 1,000 other sci-fi, ships. So the Star Trek movies are just, I'm like, ooh, more sci-fi as a kid, and that's how I even got into the show was through the movies. But man, Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, you just get to hang out in Middle Earth. You don't really get to hang out. There's something a little odd, maybe it's some of the production value or whatever, that it never quite feels like you're just hanging out in Star Trek. But Lord of the Rings, and especially The Hobbits, like when I put those on, I'm just like, it's just like hanging out in the world. We're going here, we're going there, and I love the slow pace of those too. It's a good hang. But I would miss Star Trek because those are near, especially Star Trek 2. My God, but if I had to take them all out, yeah, man, Lord of the Rings. It's like living in that world. They did such a good job of that.
All right. Would you rather have one line in a Best Picture winner, or star in the biggest box office flop of the year?
Okay, hold on.
Good questions.
I'm gonna ask a qualifying question. When you say box office flop, do you just simply mean that mainstream audiences did not financially appreciate this movie?
Could still be a
or
cult
do you mean
hit.
it is a critical flop as well? Because there are many fantastic films that have great performances that are well regarded by the critical community, but it's just that the layperson did not want to see it and didn't give it any money. Which of these are you talking about?
I think for the question to actually be like a good question, I think you would have to say it was also a critical flop. Like, it was just a bad movie that nobody liked.
Were you
but
good
you're,
in
like,
it though?
you're the star.
With your acting?
There are no small parts.
That is you. That's up to you. Are you a good actor? Are you good enough to like leave an impression on this to make it good?
Why are you asking like that's
why,
a
yes.
question, Trevor?
I apologize. I apologize, Mara.
People regularly choose to hang out with Mara for an hour and a half to 2 hours on Saturdays. So obviously she's
I played
the star
Richard
of
the
this show.
Third, Trevor. Jeez.
I apologize. You would be a good actress, but in
I
the
would
worst
rather
movie
be
of the
the
year.
guy who says like,
2 more on the radar,
I
sir.
attached Ready Sergeant and Departed than to be the star of Jupiter Ascending. So yeah, I'll say I'll take the one line in the Best Picture winner.
2 more on the radar, sir.
Yeah.
You better come take a look at this. This better be good. All those lines, yeah.
See, I don't know. I think I might pick the starring role in the flop because, for example, I have a perversion for bad movies, and there's a lot of people that like bad movies. And so I could be the Tommy Wiseau of my own movie. And I'm not saying it'd have to be that bad, but like I could be the Diane Lane, Judge Hershey character
Gerard
in
Butler.
Judge Dredd. And I could have a great part in a movie that's just kind of blah, but that people love. So I'm gonna go with the flop.
All right. Would you rather be a one, basically like an actor one-hit wonder? You win an Oscar for one film and the rest of your career is just nothing, or would you rather like have a consistent career where like nothing's ever like great, but you have a string of like really, really good movies that people appreciate, but you get no recognition?
I'd rather be Nicolas Cage in this scenario. So yeah.
Are you saying Vincent Schiavelli or be
Adrian Brody?
Or Adrian Brody?
Yeah.
Vincent Schiavelli or Adrian Brody? I think that's the right way to ask the question.
I feel like you can actually make, because when you say no recognition, like, yeah, you're not going to get an awards, but I would say that amongst like the film, like my people would appreciate Vincent Schiavelli almost more than like Adrian Brody in a certain way. Like, you know, because I see Vincent Schiavelli, I'm like, oh wow, Batman Returns and Ghost and
Mr.
like
Hand.
all of those,
Mr.
all of
Hand.
those different great movies. So I would rather be the person that's in a lot of really good movies. And yeah, maybe I'm not the most famous guy in the world, but I'm in a lot of really good stuff rather than I had one big, bright, blazing moment and then nothing else.
Yeah, character
I want
actor,
the
man.
statue.
Love it.
All right, here we go.
I want to be Glenn Morshower. I want to be
Right,
I
Glenn
want to be,
Morshower.
you know, one of those great character actors.
Who's the one from Michael Mann's films? I can't think of Police Story. What's his name? Snatch. I'm coming to London. What's his name?
Oh, Dennis Farina.
Dennis Farina. Right.
Yeah.
I just want the
All right.
pretty statue.
Would you fair? Would you rather be in a Hunger Games arena or be on the Death Star during the Rebel Alliance's attack?
Well, I mean, One of those definitely ends with me dying, and the other one only probably. So I
Only
guess I go with the
probably.
Hunger Games.
I feel
Yeah,
like Hunger
I
Games, you
agree.
would suffer a lot more in death, though. Is the
Only if you
question.
die.
Yeah,
Well, right, but
There's
it's
a lot
like
of camping in between.
yeah.
Plus, with people like you, they send you stuff in the game, and I'm very likable when I want to be, which is not usually, but I could be.
all right. Next question:
Yeah,
would
Death
you
Star is
rather
all
go?
so orderly and yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather fight the Penguin or the Joker?
Penguin.
Yeah, penguin.
Yeah.
He's easily.
Yeah.
He's
He has a
take the
cute little
umbrella out of his
army of
hands.
little
He's
fuzzy
helpless.
penguins.
Would you rather be a student at Hogwarts or a student at Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters?
Oh.
Xavier's school,
I'm-
because that means
yeah,
I
I'm
have
going to
powers.
Xavier School. Right.
I would not give up the chance to have Patrick Stewart as like my teacher.
Yeah.
Although, well, Maggie Smith is my teacher. That would be great.
But think about it this way, though. I mentioned this earlier while you were peeing. Hogwarts is not got a good track record for student
Well,
safety.
no, you never learn anything there. Everything class is always getting disrupted. Like there was
Final
like
exams are canceled.
in
Dumbledore
7
just
years
gives
Hogwarts.
gives the Gryffindors the House Cup,
for
arbitrarily.
no reason.
And
Yeah,
we're in
it's-
Slytherin, so we'd get screwed over.
I think Harry Potter got like a combined like 6 weeks of education and 7 years at Hogwarts. Well, 5 years, I guess. He didn't stay for this full term. See, the most
all
famous
right.
person in Hogwarts didn't even graduate. At least Xavier's graduates people.
We never saw a graduation ceremony in any of those movies, did we?
No.
If you don't die after 4 years, you're free.
Yeah.
You're free.
Yeah, you leave with your life. That's your graduation ceremony at Hogwarts.
Congratulations, we're not going to launch you into space.
No diplomas. All right. Would you? Oh, this is a fun one. Would you rather be part of? So what we do in the shadows? Would you rather be in like the house with the vampires, or would you rather be a swearwolf?
Oh, vampires, duh.
Oh, yeah. Because the werewolves are all jocks in that show, right?
Also, I get to hang out with Taika, and that's like the dream.
Obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
you can get weird, Trevor.
I might go with the
You be a-
swearwolves.
They call them swearwolves?
I wasn't gonna say anything, but you know.
Well, they don't. That's the whole thing. It's like, are we werewolves or swearwolves? It's like his whole thing. He's like mentoring them.
Yeah.
I want to watch that now.
Oh my
The
God,
question the question said werewolves. I just wanted to throw in swearwolves because it's fun.
Swearwolves.
Oh, okay. I don't. Okay. Would you rather be Darth Vader? Okay. Would you rather be enslaved to Darth Vader or enslaved to Jabba the Hutt?
Vader, because at least I get to wear clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he'll put you on some cool mission, and think about the difference in smells.
Yeah. Oh, the smell would be
Constantly
really
circulated air and everything. That guy's, that's a shining him up. The guy probably smells like, like Armor All. It's a good smell. But yeah, Jabba the Hutt. Oof. Every
I'd
corner
rather
of that
be
place. That place don't get swept.
Like, I'd rather be
All right.
force choked than have to go into the Rancor pit.
Oh,
That's
right.
true.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not
Not a
good.
whole lot
Alright.
of room for failure, though, with Darth Vader. I think Darth Vader,
True.
but it's a tough call.
All right. Last one. Would you rather be stuck on a desert island with the Ninja Turtles or the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Oh, Trevor, no.
Are we talking about from the movie?
Alan Quartermain.
Yes.
And
Tom
Dorian Gray and
Sean Connery.
Sawyer.
Tom Sawyer, yeah. And Jekyll and Hyde.
The Invisible
Isn't that
Man.
one, too?
I mean, listen. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on a desert island, right? If things go really bad, I feel a lot better about eating a turtle than eating another human being. So I would go with plus they're good company. I'm going with the Ninja Turtles.
Dan, you have parsed this argument perfectly.
I have the opposite thought, Dan. You want to have the turtles with you because turtles can swim. You're not staying on that island.
Oh,
The Jack
Mara
Sparrow
has
maneuver.
nailed it. You're gonna ride on
Getting,
the
like,
back of Donatello's back all the way across the
Yeah.
ocean.
Good call. I
Andrew
didn't think
asks
about
if
that.
all versions of April O'Neil are included. I don't think so.
I think we raise a very good question here. Can you drown a Ninja Turtle?
You could, but why would you?
I'm saying, like,
Can you drown a regular turtle?
Well, I
Yes,
guess you
and
can.
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, they don't breathe underwater, but they can hold their breath for a long time.
Yeah. I think Ninja Turtles definitely. All right, I think the last thing that we were going to do is we're going to rank the Wars of the Stars.
Oh, how
Ooh.
perfect that we have Adam here.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't rank much. I'm not a ranker, but I enjoy doing it, but I have to be prodded to do so.
Well, you know what? I'll be the
Are you a
rancor
rancor, though?
keeper. By the way, Adam, I have a question to pose to you in front of the internet. So Robbie's going to be here next week, and one of the things that we have said for a long time that we want to do is we've always wanted to watch Rise of Skywalker with you because we want to understand how your heart and your brain work. And so we were wondering if you wanted to do a Zoom call and watch Rise of Skywalker with us while he's here.
100%. I watch that movie any day of the week, twice on Sunday. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, I love that. And I haven't
So
watched
internet-
these in a while either. I haven't watched the Star Wars movies maybe since, last time I was competing or whatever. You don't want to wear them out, but that's the exciting thing about competing is you're like, ooh, I have an excuse. I can't choose anything else tonight. I got to watch a Star Wars movie, which is very exciting. But
well, the internet's going to hold you to this now.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure thing. Let's do it. Okay, so you're going to do a watch along next week for Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, it was just going to be like just private, like just us. But
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
am I supposed to
Question.
put that up there, Trevor?
Oh yeah. So
Okay, I just wanted to
question:
make sure.
Do we want to add in the holiday special and the 2 Ewoks movies?
What, so they can be second to the last and last? I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
If we want to just add
I
a
was just making
basement
sure.
to this structure we're building, we can.
Yeah, there is a
We can add the separate question of which is better, Clone Wars Holiday Special or Ewoks, and do that a threesome right there, and then take them out of the general populace.
I like Clone Wars.
You're
All right,
not
so
going to
I'm
rank it
going
above
to-
anything else, are you?
You don't know that.
Oh, you don't know me?
All right, so we're just gonna go chronological. So we have the Phantom Menace versus Attack of the Clones.
Technically not going chronologically, you're going alphabetically, but anyway.
I think he means chronologically.
Chronological by event.
Oh, I see.
By
Event
events,
occurrence.
yes.
Sorry, I'm thinking of my own life chronology.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yes, by
Adam,
event occurrence.
you and I grew up in a different universe than these youngsters like Trevor here.
Yes.
I think it still holds true. It's chronological within the universe of the Wars and the Stars.
Yeah, here I'll show you the age. I'll show you the age of Dan and I. Dan, I just watched Star Wars. Now, which one did I just watch, Dan?
The one
You
where
watched
they
Star
go to the
Wars.
Death Star and blow it up.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they meet Han Solo.
Star Wars. That one is called Star Wars.
It's called Star Wars.
Indiana Jones
all right.
and the Star Wars.
Yeah, God.
Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones?
Attack of the
I'm the
Clones.
outlier here. I prefer Phantom Menace, but I know I'm the only one.
You're
I
not the
love
only
Attack of the
one.
Clones.
I prefer Phantom Menace as well.
Oh, I love
All right.
Attack of the Clones.
So Phantom Menace stays at number 1 here. Now we have Revenge
Okay.
of the Sith versus Attack of the Clones.
Which do I like better?
That is
Sith.
the question.
Sith.
All right.
I've been watching the last few years. Sith has overtaken Attack of the Clones. Probably is my favorite of the three, actually.
Dan, not that your vote matters, but Revenge of the Sith.
I
What
would
does
put
that
it
mean?
above the Phantom Menace. Oh, sorry, I would put it above Attack of the Clones.
Okay, and then you're also picking it above Phantom Menace. I assume everybody is.
I would
Yes.
put it above Phantom Menace myself.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I would not,
Right.
but I accept the minority.
Okay.
All right.
I prefer Phantom
All right.
Menace the most. I know it's weird, but I do.
And I did accidentally skip Clone Wars going
I
chronologically.
love it. They're all great.
Are
So,
those your personal
Clone Wars.
rankings, Trevor, or are those?
Yeah, these are my star ratings.
You go 3, 1, 2.
So we also can see
Like
how
the Chicago area code.
Yeah,
My
you
kind
can
of code.
you can see my personal ratings of each of them as well, as well as my Clone Wars ranking. Where are we putting Clone Wars? Is it above Attack of the Clones?
It is not.
It kind of is for me, but again, I accept that I'm not. I'm the
Oh
only
well,
one.
Dan, it comes down to you.
Comes down to Dan.
No, I'll leave
There's
it there.
no way you'd rather watch the Clone Wars over.
No,
Attack of the
I was
Clones
sitting
if
here
said
thinking,
I'm
what
putting
would
one
I
in.
rather? If you gave me a choice right now and said you had to watch one of the two, which one? I would say Attack of the Clones. So.
Yeah, if I said I'm putting
All
one
right.
on right now, your vote would not be the Clone Wars.
Solo, a Star Wars story, which, as you see, I quite like.
Mhm.
Solo versus the Clone Wars.
Better than that.
Yeah, up.
Yes. All right. Solo versus Attack of the Clones.
Better than that.
Going up. All right. Oh, I just did the. All right. Solo versus Phantom Menace.
Better than that.
Yeah.
Up.
All right. Solo versus Revenge of the Sith.
Better than that. Solo
I
is
wouldn't,
so
but
good.
I acknowledge that everyone else is.
Oh my
Mara,
God,
you're saying
is
Solo
so
above?
good.
Yeah. I mean, again,
Okay.
that's because I don't really like Revenge of the Sith as much as most people, so that's probably why.
Okay.
And man, Saturday afternoon, you're putting in one Star Wars movie, man. Solo, that hits the spot.
All right. Rogue One.
Oh.
For me
Versus-
personally, this would be at the top for me already. So you guys just say when it stops, because this would be
Seconded,
Yeah,
number
it
this
one.
is
is
at the
the
top
top
for me
you.
as well.
I'd
It
put
It
it.
stops
up
at the
for you.
top for me.
Yeah, go ahead and put it at the top.
All right. As you can see with my rating,
I can make an
agree.
academic argument between Solo and Rogue One. That would be a tough decision, I think, but I think easily I could say, yeah, I like that better than Solo.
And I assume we're putting Star Wars straight to the top.
You betcha.
Yeah. I mean,
It's hard to beat, man.
All right.
it'd be tough.
That
I
is
could have an
just-
academic argument between Star Wars and Rogue One, but
I mean, yeah, it's splitting hairs for me. On one day, I might pick Star Wars. On the next day, I might pick
Yeah.
Rogue One. Like, they're very close for me as far as especially enjoyment factor.
I personally would probably go Rogue One, but it would be close.
None of the movies has ever been better than Star Wars for me. I mean, I think I've flirted with that idea over the years, but every Star Wars just ends up back on top. The storytelling of that movie is absolute fire. Incredible.
All right, let's see where Empire goes, though. So I assume we can put this at least up to Empire versus Rogue One.
yes,
So Empire versus Rogue One,
Yeah, it's
up
better.
for me.
up. All right, Empire versus Star Wars.
It's up for me.
Yeah, for
Nah.
me, it is. It's so tough, though. Again, any given day, I
I
could
can see
change
it.
my mind.
I mean, I can
No,
see it. I
Empire's-
understand the arguments. So if the panel's saying Empire goes above, then yeah, we'll do that.
All right. So now Return of the Jedi, which is
Oh, this is
my
where it's gonna
personal
get
favorite Star Wars.
You
This
and
is-
Mark
this is my
Ellis.
favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We are one and the same because we agree on Star Wars. All right. Return of the Jedi. I will. Is it safe to say it skips over these bottom three?
It's very safe to
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
All right. Does it skip over Revenge of the Sith?
Yes,
Yes. All right.
yes,
Over Solo.
Yeah.
yes, for me.
All right. Over Rogue One. My two favorite Star Wars.
It does not for me.
Not for me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
What do you say,
All
Trevor?
right. I would put Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars film, so I'd put it above Rogue One.
Yeah, I
For
think
me,
I
it
put
goes
it above
above
Rogue
these.
One too, but feeling this panel out, this does look logical for our general overall thoughts.
All right. Okay, so now we get to the
It's a tie, so I'd leave it there.
now we get to the sequel. So this is where it will get interesting.
This is where it gets interesting, folks.
this is where the fun begins.
This is where the fun begins.
So
Yeah, I'm just
me
gonna say, Force
personally,
Awakens is in like my top 3 or 4 Star Wars films, so it's going to be really far
Wow.
up there for me. I
I
think
love
you
it so
guys need to
much.
say where you need it to stop, and then we talk about it from there.
so
mean-
I'm not voting on these. I would put this below Revenge of the Sith, above Phantom Menace,
Wow.
Below
personally.
Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I know that isn't a very populous opinion, but yeah,
I would
put
for
it
me-
above
for
Revenge
me,
of the
it'd be
Sith.
7.
Yeah, I would put it at least up there.
Yeah,
The
sit it
Star-
there
Is it
for a
better
second.
than Solo? Is it better
Well,
than
let's
Solo?
let's look at that. So let's look and see if this makes sense here. Boy,
It's
what do I
definitely
like that?
better than Solo for me. Yes.
For me too, yeah.
I could see that. Yeah, get
Okay.
that above Solo.
Is it better than Return of the Jedi?
That I don't know. Well,
For me, it
Andrew,
is.
Andrew, I
Technically
agree.
it is.
Return of the Jedi is my favorite Luke.
you know what?
100%.
I've never had to state this before, but yeah, I think that's better than Jedi.
I
mean,
do too.
Yeah.
All right, so Force Awakens is above that. That hurts me.
Yeah. I'm a little
Um,
surprised here because I don't think I ever would have thought that I would say that. But you know what? That makes a lot of sense right now. I do think
All
I like
right.
The Force Awakens better than Jedi. It's a better
Force
movie.
Awakens versus Rogue One.
I could tell you for me, I think that overall, I think one of the things that stands out for me about Rogue One is I love how distinct and depressing that it is, and that it gave me some stuff in Star Wars that was necessary to see, because we really don't see mass death on the part of our heroes in this franchise. It just doesn't happen. But Force Awakens is just, it is the movie that makes me feel the best. I love watching it. It gets me so jazzed up. I love the music. I love everything in it. So for me, it's better than Rogue One. But I think that overall, perhaps, like, if I was going to discuss like quality, it'd be a way tougher argument between the two. But as far as like what I want to throw in right now would be Force Awakens.
So you're picking Force Awakens.
You could make the argument that The Force Awakens gets Star Wars more than Rogue One does. Like, it understands Star Wars more than Rogue One does in a certain way. Because Rogue One actually doesn't take as much understanding of how to tell a Star Wars story as The Force Awakens. And it didn't have as much pressure because it's just, it's this little prequel, cute little interesting experiment, really. Yeah. So I could see Force Awakens going above Rogue One, although I think I like Rogue One better, but maybe not. Force Awakens has so much heavy lifting that it succeeds at.
What do you think, Dan?
It's below Rogue One for me.
Okay.
Personally.
It's got Han Solo. It's above Rogue One for me.
So Force Awakens does go above then. Also, I do have to. I just realized this. Adam, is your name 4 lols that are reference to 4-lom from Empire Strikes Back? Okay, I just wanted to make double check that.
That's from I just did a Star Wars show like 2 days ago. I just left my name the same. LOL.
Okay. That makes sense. Just
4 LOL is also one of the commentators for the Star Wars play-by-play that Paul and I did.
Nice. Because it's one of the bounty hunters on the bridge of the Star Destroyer, correct?
4-LOM, Zuckuss, Dengar, IG-88, Bosk, and Boba Fett. Bounty
Star
hunters.
Wars.
We don't need their scum. Yes, sir.
All right. Force Awakens versus Star Wars.
No.
No fucking way.
Not for me.
What, are you kidding me?
I'm happy with it being up here in top 3. I'm very satisfied with that.
Mari, you forgot Captain America. You forgot Captain America there.
Language.
The language.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
Forgot about it.
Static. I'm sorry.
There we go. All right. See.
Hey, Trevor, I forgot this one too.
No.
Oh. All right. Last Jedi. Let's get controversial. As you can see by my rating, I love this movie.
This movie is better than we deserve.
All right. Okay. Last Jedi. It has to be better than these bottom 3.
Hell yeah. Right? Keep going.
Yes.
All right. It's better than Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's better than Solo, right?
Yep. And that's saying something.
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
Sure.
All right. Return of the Jedi. So, like, I wouldn't say it's above Return of the Jedi, but I would place this above Force Awakens.
God, I love The Last Jedi so much. It's just such a piece of perfection. It's shocking.
I'm very, very mixed on that movie. It has some of my favorite things I've ever seen in Star Wars and some of my least favorite things I've ever seen in Star Wars. So it's just very tough.
It's just so driven by vision, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be able to succeed in all the ways it does being a part of a franchise. It's just amazing.
I would argue
that I really thought that Rian Johnson behaved in such a infantile way to defend the movie that caused a lot of the vitriol around it. So, I mean, I know I shouldn't hold the director's behavior.
I'm just judging the movie,
but like, it's half the reason why there's this much of a like vicious divide between people is because he had to like scream at people that they were too stupid to understand his movie and cite obscure passages in non-canonical literature, and like instead of just letting people not like it.
I think he's right.
I mean,
I don't think that I'm too stupid to understand it, and there's some stuff in there that I just think was put in there because of his ego and not because of him loving Star Wars.
The one thing that gets lost in all the arguments about Star Wars is there's a lot of Star Wars fans. So, it's like everybody brought a different opinion. So some people didn't like it for this, some people didn't like it for your reason,
You're right, though. He did act like a Christopher Nolan fan. Like, you didn't understand it. But yeah, like I don't know. I really do love a lot of this movie. Like, the more it has maybe my favorite scene in Star Wars, which is the in Snoke's like throne room. That fight
oh
scene.
God, yeah.
I love so much. Like it, quite honestly, might be my favorite scene in the whole franchise. There are definitely things that I don't like, but I enjoy this movie a lot.
The editing between three planes of battle, that Lucas created in Star Wars, and now everyone has to emulate. If you don't have an ending that takes place on three different places, you kind of don't have a Star Wars movie in a weird way. Where Ryan Johnson took that with the reaching for the lightsaber and the Holdo maneuver is just such advanced stuff. It understands Star Wars better than Return of the Jedi does. But of course, Return of the Jedi was making it at the time, inventing it as it went along. But The Last Jedi, it takes all the Star Wars tropes and just makes them so mature. Just really knocks them out of the park. I would put it above Jedi, I think.
Jedi over Jedi?
The one other last grievance I have about The Last Jedi and the discussion
I think it sits
around
there,
it is
then.
just that, like, the people that screamed about how Force Awakens was just a ripoff of Star Wars, I have a list of like 8 different reasons why Last Jedi has extremely similar parallels to Empire, but no one acknowledges it at all. They're like, no, it's the most original Star Wars movie ever, and it's like, no, it has a lot of things. That it's just
She
from
goes to a
Empire as
planet,
well.
learns the Force from an old Jedi. But it knows that. That's not an accident on any of these movies. These movies know that they're doing
That's
that.
not the movie's fault. I just mean part of the reason why I hate talking about The Last Jedi is because everyone made it insufferable to talk about with any nuance whatsoever. Because like I said, I'm very mixed. It has some of the coolest shit I've ever seen, and it has some of the like things that I feel like are just not my speed, and there's no room for that. There's only room for you love Force Awakens and you hate Last Jedi, or you love Last Jedi and you hate Force Awakens, and that's so stupid. Why can't we all just like what we like? And why can't we be Adam and like all of it?
But we can, because I didn't read any of those arguments, and I don't even know what you're talking about, kinda. So you could ignore that shit, evidently.
Adam, I love you. You're so pure.
Oh,
I mean, look at like obviously I prefer
like you do.
Like obviously I do prefer Last Jedi over Force Awakens, as you can see my ratings, but I still also very clearly by my ratings love both of those movies. So
and that's totally awesome. Even if people don't like both of them, like the idea that we can all just want to like what we like, and it's okay.
Yeah, nobody has to like all of anything.
So we're leaving Last Jedi at number 6.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good place for it.
All right, Rise of Skywalker. Let's
Adam,
do it.
I know you love this movie.
I love this movie.
It doesn't work very well, but I want to hear what Dan thinks also, because I'm not going to tank it. I just don't know how high it's going to go for me personally.
So it's over Clone Wars, right?
Honestly, yes, it's over Clone Wars. Honestly, if I'm being 100% truthful, the highest I could put it is above The Phantom Menace. So that's where I stand. That's as high as I could go.
So is that so like
I don't have to defend this thing all the way up to 1, but I definitely I think between Revenge of the Sith and Phantom Menace is an acceptable place for it. I think I like it. I like it better than Revenge of the Sith. Solo is so good, and Last Jedi is so good. It's hard to say whether I like it more than those. I could see it settling below Solo and above Revenge of the Sith. Would there be arguments against that?
I would not strenuously
Mara,
object.
would you put it above
I
that?
would be fine with that because at least I have Babu Frick, and Revenge of the Sith does not afford me a Babu Frick.
Oh, you got so much more than Babu Frick in that movie too. It's there's so much great stuff going on in that movie. Oh my god.
So
It also has Billy D. Williams, so
Billy
So
D.
the
Williams,
consensus is right
Rosanna.
here. Is that our consensus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, because I can't defend that much higher than Solo and The Last Jedi. I could defend it all day long, but I can't defend it higher than that in terms of what I like about these movies. That's cool. That's fun.
So
All
what's
right,
really
so
interesting though is
I never get to rank
Trevor
stuff.
and I are going to actually rewatch all of the Star Wars movies, and then we're going to see if any of this ranking would change. Because I mean, I watch them a lot, but I haven't watched all of them in like the last 4 months or so.
Same.
So I'm actually going to do another rewatch here
So
this month.
yeah, so there's your guys' consensus rankings. So Empire,
Those
Star
beautiful
Wars, Star Wars,
posters.
Force Awakens,
Beautiful.
Rogue One, Return of the Jedi.
God,
Yeah.
I mean, look at the
So-
Rise of Skywalker poster. My God, that's just
So I will say, so my personal rankings of these movies, since I did not vote, I would go Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, The Last Jedi. Then I'd probably go Solo, then The Force Awakens, then Revenge of the Sith, and then Rise of Skywalker, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars.
You should take some time and watch Solo
Yeah.
one day. I mean,
Yeah.
I've definitely, it's grown on me with subsequent rewatches. The color palette is a bit grating for me. However, I do like from a scientific perspective that it reconciled some real world science in a way that maybe wasn't all the best way, but it worked. And surprisingly, I was most concerned about liking the Han Solo performance, and I was like totally locked in. I was like, oh, how can we screw up Lando? And then I ended up much more favoring Alden Ehrenreich, and I felt like the Lando was much more a facsimile of Lando, and I was very surprised. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it's just disappointing.
But I enjoy
Right.
watching it. I don't
You
find
found
it
the Lando to
a
be
chore at
disappointing?
all.
Yeah, I felt like it was
But he's a goofball character in Empire anyway.
it was dream casting, and I feel like it just became a copy of Billy D. Williams, whereas Alden Ehrenreich actually did something kind of his own.
He tried to be Han Solo-esque without doing Han Solo.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know how seriously we want to take Lando. I think Lando, I mean, he's a goofball in Empire Strikes Back, coming out, hey, princess, hey, all this. You know, I mean, he's fun in Empire Strikes Back. So I don't feel like that was that off of. And I love when dreamcasting happens, you know, like, Patrick Stewart is Professor X. Like, I love when that stuff happens, or, Deadpool. But
I will say,
Part of
fun
it is
thing.
I don't know if anyone could have lived up to Billy D. Williams, because that man is like we should just drip his charisma juice into bottles and sell it to people. Like
Right.
he is one of the most charismatic human beings on the face of the planet.
He's great.
I will say, so fun thing with Patrick Stewart dreamcasting as Professor X. So I actually have a X-Men comic from the mid '90s. It was part of just like the mainline X-Men run. Where in the letters section in the back, somebody writes in saying, if you were ever to make an X-Men movie, you should cast Patrick Stewart from Star Trek: The Next Generation, which I thought was very fun.
Yeah, no, that was
Wizard
everybody's choice.
Magazine was I remember when I was a kid, they used to do castings, fan castings, and even in the early '90s, Wizard Magazine would always do X-Men. Who would you cast in an X-Men movie? Which at that time was like, it'll never get made.
No, it'll never get made.
Patrick Stewart was always the choice for Professor X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your choice if they reboot it?
Oh God, I mean, it's not like I would have said James McAvoy before, but he's perfect.
Yeah. I kind of want Denzel. Denzel Washington.
He looks good with shaved head.
Yeah. He would be my personal pick for my Xavier.
Nah, he's too puffy. You need like a little skinny guy in the chair. He can't look like he might whip your ass. He's kind of,
That's true.
he's in the wheelchair. He's more the brains of the operation. He's not gonna
I don't
kill you
know
with
why
a nail
I
gun.
went to the. I don't know. Even you said he's too puffy. You said you need a skinny guy, and it was like, oh, Jesse Eisenberg. Which like,
No.
no.
He's gone the shaved head route already. It doesn't work.
What a terrible Lex Luthor. Why would they do that? Like, Kevin Spacey is dreamcasting as Lex Luthor, I think. I mean, we don't like the guy now, but that was pretty good.
I'm looking here for some inspiration.
Well, I think we're probably about to wrap up the show, but Mara, we do have an announcement about the Basement Awards to make.
We do,
Basement Awards?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're way better than the Academy. So we have our own award show, and we have our own categories, such as Best Movie Pet of the Year for the eligibility season.
Yes.
We also have Worst Performance of the Year, Best Year in Film, so like cumulative performances from an actor in a year. And we have the Academy categories, but we're having fun with it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have some fun categories. And
you know what?
Yeah.
In your first year, and I don't know how many people could say this, in your first year, it's guaranteed that you're going to have higher viewership than the Golden Globe Awards. which is very that's very
Dan
impressive.
makes a
on
very
year
good point.
one. Yeah.
I am very happy with that, which technically makes us more important than the Golden Globes, right?
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
Hey, we have more integrity than the Golden Globes, so there's that.
We do. Nobody has bribed us yet.
Adam Driver call.
Honestly, though, like Andrew Garfield, if you want to bribe, like I'll gladly take it. Andrew Garfield could do, like
I just
sure,
want him to
we'll take
bribe us by coming here and singing the full soundtrack to Tick Tick Boom. That's all I want.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, if Andrew call us. But yeah. So
anyways,
we have
our guest
lots
next
of
week.
Andrew Garfield.
Garfield.
Sorry,
we
Robbie.
are going to be joined by a Spider Boy next week, though, because Robert
Yes.
the Spider Parker is going to be co-located here in Arkansas next week. So we will have a Spider Boy. It just won't be Andrew Garfield.
Oh wow!
So
He's going to be
Andrew
live.
If Andrew Garfield does want to come on, I think Robbie would be okay with being kicked off.
Oh yeah, no, Robbie's getting bumped. If the Spider Man wants to be on, Spider Boy gets bumped.
Yes. But yeah, so we're gonna have lots of fun categories. So we are going to do, first announcement, we will be doing our nominations at the end of the month. There's just a few more things that I think we both would need to see. Like I still need to see like Tragedy Macbeth, A Hero. I want to still see Petite Maman from Celine Sciamma. And like there's some stuff like Demon Slayer, which is on Mara's list that I still need to see, and I have some stuff on my list that I know Mara you would still need to see, such as like Titan and 9 Days. So we each still have some stuff to catch up on, but by the end of the month we should be good to do our nominations. And
Wait, what was the last
we
two
are
movies you
going
just
to
mentioned?
have
9 Days.
9 Days, yes, and then Titan.
Oh, Titan. Right. Titan.
Love that movie so much.
So our nominating process, would you like to explain how that's going to work?
Yeah. So it's just going to be me and you, or you and I, grammar, and we will do the nominations.
He's at some school.
We will do the nominations on a live show. And we'll try and compromise as best as we can. We each have our own personal lists, and we'll try and put together 5 for each category, 10 for Best Picture, as best as we can. And then about a month or so later, early March probably, we will be announcing our winners with another live show, I believe, correct?
Yes, and we're going to have a jury.
We will have a jury. The jury will consist of myself, Mara,
Cheater,
Dan, and 2 special guests being William Bibiani and Sabrina Ramirez.
Oh my gosh!
So that is our jury of 5 for the Basement Awards. Myself, Mara, Dan, Bibiani, and Sabrina. And so Mara and I will make the nominations, and the 5 of us will be voting. I don't know if we'll do the voting process live, which could actually be kind of fun. Or if,
I mean, the only thing that we have to consider is in the event of a tie, because with 5 people, if someone votes for one movie and then 2 pairs of other people vote for 2 other movies, if there's a tie,
the person who votes for
Survivor rules, which is revote on only those 2 films. All 5 people must vote, so that way there's a tie broken. So,
which I think is fine.
Could you do a couple categories that are the technical awards and pre-record that? Like just
earlier tonight.
Yeah.
That would be really fun, Dan. I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Can I just say that having been to several of those award ceremonies, those are where the real fun is had.
I would imagine.
We've been to the Emmy Technical Awards, and that's where the real people who know how to party show up.
Right.
Oh, and they totally let us dick around because we're not live or anything. So they're like, all right, hey guys, we're gonna get our applause moments, get our oohs, get our ahs. All right, now do whatever you want. We don't.
Right. That's awesome.
It's all the set designers and costume designers and visual effects artists and like all the people who know how to have a good time. Bill Nye,
the Science Guy, RuPaul. Like we get all the good people.
Yeah. I will say, okay, so the only event in which a tie would
an
work
award
is
with Bill Nighy or Bill Nye.
The only time it wouldn't work is if all 5 of us voted for a different movie. Then we'd have a 1-to-1-to-1-to-1 tie. I doubt that will happen.
That would ever happen, though. You know.
Yeah. But anyways, that is your awards, buddy. So we'll be doing our nominations at the end of.
That sounded really wrong, Trevor. That is your award body.
We'll be doing our nominations at the
Time to get my award season body on it.
At the end of the month. And yeah. We'll be doing
Adam,
our
let me ask you
winners
this question
later.
real quick while you're here. Do you
Yes,
remember the movie The Lawnmower Man?
I do. I know that we know the director of that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I tried explaining it to Trevor. It was difficult to explain.
Yeah. I think it would be. So you've never seen that, Trevor? It's
No.
Yeah, trying to explain that movie, seems simple, right? He finds this kid that, boy, look at the CG, man. And that was just cutting edge.
Wild back then.
That is what the internet looked like. Disclosure and all kinds of VR weird stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, it sucks. It's a terrible movie, but.
So this is just like an insane, off the wall, like crazy movie, correct?
Oh,
so
yes.
this is what I'm assuming, like, this is what I was assuming the straight story would be, because that's also about lawnmowers, and it was by David Lynch, so I thought it would be insane. So I'm assuming it would just the Lawnmower Man is like, what if David Lynch went full David Lynch on the straight story?
No, think more like early Stephen King movies, like Maximum Overdrive, that were just like off.
Okay,
like kind of weird, like taking
it.
a little bit of Stephen King, but nobody knew how to adapt anything back then for some reason. Like it just and so it all went for like market forces of like, let's get computers in it, let's get this in it, let's get all this zeitgeist stuff in it. So it's one of those early nobody knew how to make a Stephen King movie. Early, except for like Shining or whatever, but in Lawnmower Man, it's just like a classic. It's cheating.
If it's Stanley Kubrick, like.
Yeah.
Adam, did you say you know the director of Lawnmower Man?
Yeah. We hung out with a VR crew for a while, and he ended up at a bunch of different parties we went to, and so yeah.
Oh, my movies episode.
On IMDb, I saw that he's credited as the director of a movie called Dark Star. I was wondering if it was a remake of John Carpenter's Dark Star.
Oh,
it seems like a similar premise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious.
Oh, is it? Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear about
AI
that.
AI will take over Earth unless a trio of astral warriors can stop it, which is similar to the premise of Dark Star, but also just different enough that it could just be a different.
But I could see someone trying to remake Dark Star as a low budget type thing.
Honestly, it's ripe for a remake. Watched it. I watched it last year, and it's not great.
No, it's basically a special feature from Disc 2 of like, you want to see the movie we made before Aliens? Yeah, before Alien? Yeah, here it is.
Exactly.
And you'll never guess the director, John Carpenter. Okay, but anyway, that's on Disc B. But first of all, watch Alien.
It's like that Criterion thing. It's like, oh, it's a special feature on the Starman Criterion DVD. It's like, oof, yikes. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it turns out we made the entire movie before with a whole bunch of different actors and stuff.
I have a game that we won't necessarily do this time, but it is we can do one edition here, and I will name a movie, and you have to guess the price of the Blu-ray on Amazon. What do you think?
Hilarious.
What do you think the Lawnmower Man and Blu-ray is going for on Amazon? And we'll do prices right.
Oh God, that's amazing, because it
closest
could be
without going over. Without going over.
Yeah, because it could be $3.99, or some of those Blu-rays are like $35. Like Forced In from Navarone is $35, but Witness is $4. I'm looking up Harrison Ford stuff.
I feel like this movie is scarce. I'm going to go with the scarcity price rather than the quality price. I'm going to go with $50.99 and free shipping.
I think you're onto something, Mara, because nobody wants this on Blu-ray. So,
no.
And yet things get put on Blu-ray, and when they get put on Blu-ray, but there's no demand for them, the price is high. So I'm going to go $35. I'm going to go Forced In from Navarone prices there.
I think it's scarce, but I don't think it's dogma scarce. So I am going to go. This is a price that I've seen often for movies like Lawnmower Man, because I'm thinking that's right for something like a Shout Factory or some kind of an edition. I'm going to say $20.99.
So I will not be factoring in if the movie's on sale. I'm going to go with the list price, and then it's the closest. It is $24.99. Also, very specifically close. It got a Shout Factory collector's edition release.
It did.
So it is on Shout Factory. Yeah, and it is.
Wow.
It's actually on sale right now for $18.
Oh,
Its
sure.
list price
If they're going to put out
24.
New Year's Evil, then yeah, why wouldn't
Yeah.
you put out that?
Yeah. It's $24.99, a Shout Factory collector's edition.
Ooh.
The tagline on it is "God made him simple, science made him a god."
That's true. That is the
That
tagline.
sounded like a Shout Factory movie. It sounded like it was begging
it's
for Shout Factory edition to me.
Imagine
The cover,
all those
I said-
effects in 2K, man. Woo.
I suggest you actually look up the cover, because the cover actually looks like really, really cool. It's got a really nice slip cover. The Shout Factory.
Well, yeah, sometimes they
Yeah.
do really good paintings for these new editions and stuff, and it brings a lot of
yeah.
respectability to something like Lawnmower Man.
Yeah. Oh, my mom gave me some money to buy something. Oh, that does look really cool. To buy something.
It
that
does,
I
doesn't it?
would to splurge
Oh,
on
yeah.
something, and there is a RoboCop special edition coming out. Let me see if I can find the cover for it. It's
RoboCop, you say?
yes. Hang on, I will find it. It's very expensive, especially for a movie that I already own. But again, it was specifically given to me with instructions to splurge on something that I would not usually buy myself. But it is from let's see who's doing this edition.
Don't give me that look, Muffin. I'm mad at you.
Hey, Brett
Let me
Leonard, that
share
was his
this
name.
exact
Jeff
tab.
Fahey, man. Jeff Fahey,
Oh yeah, Jeff Fahey.
right?
Jeffy.
I love that he had a comeback.
I also,
Here we go.
and while you're pulling that up, a Blu-ray or a 4K rather, or that I am going to probably get. That is a movie I already own.
Or
Is
RoboCop?
there's going to be a La La Land 4K steelbook
Oh,
La La Land.
special
I love
edition
La La Land.
releasing.
Oh, you need to talk to Paul
Which-
Preston, man. He's
which
obsessed with
I'm-
that movie.
Oh, me too. It's my second favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, it's really good.
I already own it, but
I really thought that was Best
Yeah.
Picture. I know it's not. You know, you can't say
Yeah.
that, but
So
when they
did
said
Warren
that, I was
Beatty.
like, well, that makes sense. It's it's a Hollywood style movie. you know?
so what I would have loved. I was just thinking about this the other day. So they accidentally pulled out Emma Stone's winning card, correct?
Yeah.
And that was what happened. I would have loved
Yeah.
for it to. They accidentally pulled out Casey Affleck, and it's like Best Picture goes to Manchester by the Sea, and we all would have freaked out.
Oh my
Um,
god, that would have been hilarious.
Or just like some other random one if they pulled out like just another one like the best. I don't know what it would have been, but just like one that made absolutely no sense, because La La Land was
the
actually
best
very
animated
plausible.
category.
Don't share
Yeah,
that
it
tab
was-
yet. Something's happening here.
It was La La Land versus Moonlight, so La La Land felt very plausible. But if it was something that like was not
Right? Yeah,
plausible at all,
that's the thing. La La Land felt
was-
very plausible.
but like yeah, I feel like that would have been so funny, if it was, or if it was even something that like wasn't even like nominated for Best Picture, like yeah, because I think 2016, so that was the year of Zootopia, so like for animated feature. So if they would have said, and Best Picture goes to Zootopia,
Zootopia.
and everybody would have went,
Excuse me, what?
Like, I don't think those people would have gotten up and taken the stage, but La La Land, they're like,
I
yeah,
know.
that's legit. We easily
yeah,
could have
yeah,
won.
La La Land makes sense.
I mean, it
What
was
was
what
the
I put on
odds-on
my
favorite?
ballot that I wanted to win that year, but I was not angry it didn't win.
Oh no. I mean, I would have been. La La Land's one of my favorite movies of all time, but like Moonlight's also kind of perfect. So
It's perfect, but
I
it just
do
doesn't seem like your classic Best Picture. It seems like you're the movie that doesn't get Best Picture, but everybody goes, man, it was good enough
It
that
should've,
it should have
yeah.
been nominated. People wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't nominated, and it made that director's career because it was nominated. That all would have still been fine if it hadn't gotten Best Picture.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Okay.
we need to talk about physical media more on the show.
oh,
This is
physical
great.
media. God
Arrow
bless us.
Video. That's who's doing it. So yeah, this is
Arrow.
the
Arrow,
RoboCop.
nice. I got
Yeah, this is the RoboCop 4K that I ordered. which
I
is
love
coming out later
this
year.
Arrow. This is one of my
Ooh.
favorite.
So
This is one of my
good.
favorite discs.
That's David Lynch's?
Yeah, it's the Arrow Video did a 4K.
Oh, how many
of David
discs are
Lynch's
on there?
Dune. It's like 3 discs of like it's the 4K, the Blu-ray, and then a disc of special features. So Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Arrow Video is like rivaling Criterion at this point.
Mara, you can put your Trevor. You can.
They're
put
certainly
it up now.
they're certainly trying. That seems to be their aim, is like putting out lush editions and making that the just like the C for Criterion. It means something when you see that little color bar at the bottom. You're like, oh, this is obviously a prestige edition. So they definitely have their arrows aimed at Criterion.
Yeah,
so to
see what you did there. See what you did there.
They've got
Have
their arrows
aimed at
trained.
If you want to
so
share
it's
that,
making a Kevin
yeah, I've
Costner
got
reference.
the tab open for
sorry.
sharing.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh!
Nice. That looks great.
I love when they
really
do
cool.
Drew Struzan or fake Drew Struzan posters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that
Really
Drew
cool.
Struzan or fake Drew Struzan?
We
I think it's
also
fake
Yeah.
do need to talk about. So another thing that we're just rambling at this point, but we'll end at some point. I do each week want to talk about the most liked Letterboxd review of the week, because we do love our Letterboxd reviews. And one thing is that Katie Mitchell from Mitchell's vs. the Machines now has a Letterboxd account.
Nice. That makes sense.
Which is wonderful. And her favorite movie is Portrait of a Lady on Fire. So
That tracks.
I'd buy that for more than $1.
but yeah. All right, now we can probably end the show. We talked about more stuff because we have a
Should I
fun
just walk
group
off
of
like
people
Dan?
here. Yep, just everybody get up.
Sorry.
That'd be a great ending for some streaming show or whatever. Just like everybody just gets up and leaves.
But everybody just leave it on. Like everybody, we can unmute our
blank
mics
screens
and,
and then it
just
goes
leave
to
the
credits.
Great. See how long it takes for every viewer to drop off. Be like, oh, they're not coming back, are they?
Yeah. But we should all say we'll be right back, like in Scream, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We'll be right back.
We'll be
Ooh,
right
I gotta watch all those.
Speaking of
We're
Scream,
going-
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
next weekend.
We watched
Yeah.
Scream 4 last night
Sweet.
as part of our anniversary celebration.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
How many years?
We're this
6.
many.
6 years.
Well, we met 6
And you
years
said
ago.
it wrong.
Which is where we check our anniversary from the day we met.
Oh, okay. Right. Because it was love
We
at
had a
first sight.
magical discussion about Star Trek, so it
Yes, we
really
did.
stuck in our
Ooh, is that how it happened?
kind of, yeah.
Well, that was the seed that we
Yeah.
planted the seed there. Yeah, that grew into a wonderful, beautiful relationship tree.
Yeah.
And we have
If,
2 baby kitties.
there's so many people in the Schmodown that if I eventually got married to them, it would be because we, struck up a conversation like that. Like if Ethan Irwin and I got married, it would be because we just overheard each other talking about karate movies and we just struck up a conversation. That's how I met him. But
Can I just say you two would make a wonderful couple?
wouldn't we?
Yeah,
think
you
we
guys
would.
would make a wonderful couple.
And you know what? I would take care of Meredith, and it would be okay.
Yeah, I feel like I
would
might be
just-
the odd man out on that.
Did you guys hear about the couple that met and are actually married because they both loved Mank? So they
No.
met through Letterboxd. They met through Letterboxd and they both gave Mank 5 stars while everybody was like hating on Mank.
Ah.
And then they started talking on Twitter, and then now they're married then like
Wow.
I think David Fincher like shouted them out on Twitter or something.
Oh,
Because
wow.
like they fell in love and got married because they both liked Mank and nobody else did.
That's fantastic.
All right, I'm going to need to follow this relationship and make sure it does not end in divorce
Mhm.
or poisoning. Either one.
Either one, but like stabbing we're good. Like but divorce or poison
I mean,
would be a
it's the
problem.
season of stabbing. Scream comes out in 5 days.
It does.
Ooh, I'm so excited to
I-
rewatch
and-
all those. I want to watch all 4 Screams.
I'll watch those with you. I just watched them with Trevor, and I'll watch them again.
Yeah.
I love those movies.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's,
Muffin, I need no
I
news.
love the Scream films. Muffin's gonna get a talking to.
Yes,
She is.
Man, they showed Mank along with Citizen Kane as a double feature at the New Beverly this
Oh.
week. And I couldn't
That's
make it because I'd said yes to a bunch of other live streams.
I would kill to see Citizen Kane in a theater.
Right? Oh my god. Yeah.
I-
I feel like I
oh.
have, but it must have been a while.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, I got the 4K Criterion and it's wonderful.
What else did you get for your birthday with all
I
that
just-
cash? Is that your birthday haul behind you there?
Most of these Criterions, yes.
Wow.
My birthday came a couple months before the Criterion 50% off sale. And
Nice.
that's where most of it was.
Awesome.
Most of it was actually towards the Ingmar Bergman set. So
Oh, wow. What's in that Bergman set?
all of them, I think.
It's
barring
all of
2.
them. Jeez. Wow. How many of those have you seen?
39 films. I've only
You
seen
got all 39 Bergman films sitting right there.
Well, I think it's missing 2, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen 2 of his movies. I think it's like Wild Strawberries and Persona. I think that's it.
I love Persona so much.
Persona's so
like
good.
Persona's made like it's easily in my top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
Really,
that's a special movie. Hey, have you ever seen Altman's 3 Women?
I have not. It's on my watch list.
Oh, I might have to send you a copy of that.
Yeah. Trevor's the future for us, Adam. He's the next step in our evolution. He's going to carry the torch long after we're gone.
I'm
as I discussed with Mara,
who's following us.
Just like as I discussed with Mara, Ty Sheridan's face looks weird because maybe he's the next evolution of humans. So yeah, all right. We said we would end the show for about 30 minutes now, so I feel like we probably should at this point.
And with that,
talk forever.
Let's thank our surprise special guest, the fan favorite, the Razor himself.
Good to be here. Good to see you, folks.
Wars of Stars. So
Mara reminded me that we'd be hanging out right now if you guys had. I completely forgot that. It was in my calendar and everything that you guys were going to be here. And I did not realize I should be upset today until you told me that. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, we were very bummed
this is
out.
good.
Well, once things calm down, we'll be back.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, it's so great that Parker's going to be there next weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, we'll touch base about Star Wars. Also, thank you,
Yes.
Dan, for letting us torture you and for taking the reins up here while I cleaned up the cat puke. And thank you, Trevor, for joining me as always. And thank you, everyone, for sticking around watching. And we'll see you next week for another episode of The Basement with Spider Boy Robert Parker. Bye.